Hey, hey, this is Jim the DM, and we are finally getting back together for us to play some more Aotha of the Aotha game. Well, we are still in Lathius, and tonight with us we have Caleb and Eric, and Jeremy's joining us, and Clyde. Jeremy's one of our new guys, so before we even start talking to Jeremy, let's let Caleb and Eric and Clyde introduce their characters and themselves again. Caleb, go ahead.
Yes, I am playing Ryan. I'll go into a little bit more detail here in a minute. But yeah, Ryan is a sorcerer who has found himself over the past 10 days while his friends have been serving some hard time, uh, getting close to a couple of people in town, trying to find a way to make some money and get some favors done for himself. But yeah, Ryan is a sorcerer. He's begun to take on more traditional wizard characteristics. Before, when we saw him, he had short haircut, clean shaven face. He was more of the vest and pants type character walking around with a crossbow, but some things have changed. But that's Ryan, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. So I'll pass this on. Oh, let's see. Let's hear about Clyde and what Garn is up to.
Hello, I am Clyde. I'll be playing the only Earth Gensai Ranger. I have been currently serving 10 days time in the county jail for drunken disorder. So as soon as I get out, we will figure out what we got. I'll go back to looking for my other compatriots, the other Davis. All right, Eric.
Hello, I am Eric, and I will be playing the half-orc druid barbarian known as High Kilgore Grimbear. He has been spending the last few days of his sentence sleeping off a hangover and just waiting for them to let him out of jail. After he firmly knows that he kicked the ass of many city guards, including one large earth-looking pink squirrel. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so during this time, Garn and Bear, you have both been you have both been thrown into the garrison, and by no means have they allowed you to be anywhere near each other. You have been able to have 2 meals a day, nothing but water and bread. They're not being very nice to you, especially since the leader and the man who created the Aces and heads the Aces has given specific orders not to treat you too nicely. So for you, it's you might be spending some times clinking metal mugs against bars. You might be shouting. You might just be in quiet contemplation, going, "Damn it, we got a long time to go in here." During that time, though, Ryan ended up meeting up with Drim, and do you want to remind us how that went there, Ryan?
Sure. So Drim had he had the mold to the key, and we basically went and we got payment for that. And kind of as we left that stage, Drim kind of let Ryan know that this had all been very exciting, but he'd like to step away for a little bit, maybe get back to his regular life, at least for the moment. He Ryan, I should say, asked Drim to do a couple favors for him. Mainly he has paid Drim his fair share from the job, since Drim ended up doing most of the work. But he also gave him the suit of armor, a long sword, the tabard from the fight with the women in the warehouse. But beyond that, he's also given him he kind of handed off his onyx eye focus that he used to kind of drop down, and handed it to him and told him to begin going south, and he would eventually run into a small hovel known as Sorrow's Rest, and to go speak to Odwin there, and to drop this stuff off for him, ideally. But beyond that, that's probably the last time Ryan saw Drim. But yeah. unless there's anything else there.
No, that's great. That's completely great. In that time of the week, Ryan, you said you were wanting to spend some of that time. You said you wanted to look for a some sort of enchanting shop or an alchemist.
Yes.
Awesome, and you are able to find one easily. There is one that happens to be. They advertise themselves a lot. Let's just say it that way. They have one of the most overcrowded windows, things hanging over the awnings. Most of the mundane stuff items are what are outside, but on the inside is where you can find things that you might be wanting to purchase that might be magical, and as well as wanting something enchanted. This place is called the Morning Twinkle, and you easily are able to find the owner inside. The owner inside is a man who has who's walking around in robes, and not the nicest robes. These are more burlap with a tonsure. You can almost even say that he looks like your neighborhood-friendly Friar Tuck, but instead it looks as though it has burnt edges all around the base. You see stains all over it. You see excuse me. You see singed areas around the cuffs and a tonsure on the top of his head, but it does not seem to be necessarily shaved. It looks as though, and from the smell of it, a recent accident with fire has singed off a good portion of the top of the hair on the top of his head.
Very cool. Am I interacting with this guy right now?
Sure. Just we don't even necessarily need to interact. You can tell me what do you want to do with this guy? He's a pretty agreeable gentleman.
So Ryan, being not really having anybody to tell him no, takes a portion, especially remembering back to situations that he's been in so far. He decides that it's probably in the group's best interest if he finds some sort of, I don't know, something to hopefully allow his friends a little bit more sustainability in combat. He himself has fallen, so he sees that as one of the most important things. So he kind of walks in and is looking around and is essentially looking for something that might help him to, heal, for lack of a better term.
Right. As you walk around this store, just checking things out, you notice, you realize that it's a lot of items that are sitting out. They have prices on them, but they don't have, let's say they're not labeled. They don't necessarily say, this is a wand of healing. It is a wand, and it's in a case, and there are many wands throughout this case, they're very displayed, as if trying to catch your eye even more than. Well, as I said, he does a very good job of advertising for himself. And if you want anything, to know about anything, or actually to find something, you might begin to be a little frustrated because, you become a little frustrated because there's not really a way other than actually casting the spell Identify to be able to identify them on sight.
So I would tell the shopkeep what I was looking for.
Oh, shopkeep looks at you. Oh, wonderful. So you want something that will help you heal, something to do better. We used to have these all the time. There are groups that come in and out of here looking for just the same thing that you want. Yes. So specifically, how? First, and he looks over his shoulders. How much do you got?
And so Ryan kind of takes a little coin case and he drops it, and he doesn't disclose how much is in there. He says, "I've got enough to buy what I'm looking for, I think. But if you've got what I'm looking for, then I'd be willing to spend about 300 gold."
300 gold. Oh well. And you can see on his face that it's not quite exactly as much as he was hoping you would have, but that quickly turns back into a, yes, I'm certain that we can do something with this. Aha, let me see. And he's walking over to the wand case and looking at it going, yes, we could maybe do something. And he looks around for a bit and he goes, no, 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 that won't work. And he starts to walk over to some armor, and he looks over at you, grabs some armor off, pulls it up, and no, hangs it up, and yeah. Now, if you want, he walks back over to a case right beside the ones, and he opens it up from behind, and he pulls out a gem that does not look very precious. It does not look as though it's been cut well, but it is one of the most deep. It's one of the deepest, most beautiful blues you've seen. And he sets it down on the table, opens up this case, opens up the smaller case of it, and he pulls it out and he goes, This could stabilize the dying. Yes. Is that something along the lines that you wished?
No, that's not what I'm looking for. Specifically, what I would like is some sort of I want something that's a little bit more functional for what I would use it for. To be honest with you, and I pull out my own little gem that I've been carrying around in my pocket. And as I pull it out, I say, to be honest with you, on. And I am holding it there, and this stone starts to glow very brightly in my hand. I've recently come into possession of this, and I'd kind of like to be able to find a way to socket it into whatever it was that I was looking for here. The wand looks nice, but I was thinking maybe something bigger.
Oh, something bigger than a. What do you mean? What?
He kind of starts.
Something that you have in mind?
Yeah, he starts looking around the room and he says, "Man, for something that would be functional." And he kind of starts walking over, and so whatever this young man in the burlap, and young man might be wrong, but he's got a wall that's got just these long, I don't know, thin logs, essentially, kind of rickets more than anything else, that is kind of used to stoke the fire. And he goes over and he pulls one up off the ground, and he kind of holds it in his hand, and he turns it sideways, and he stamps it down, and he says, something like this.
And I'm sorry, you said that was a what?
It's a staff.
Okay. He goes, that's not going to be able to, I'm sorry, be in your price range.
Oh, shit. So let's talk a little bit about that. What's the price range that you're looking for?
Well, for this, it'd be about 800 gold.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to be able to come to a common ground, at least.
You know, I'm kidding. That's the going rate. I mean, we are so close to Northtown. I'll give it to you for 700. I'm sure you can come up with some more gold, right? Right?
Ryan kind of looks at him, a little perplexed, because this is kind of a new thing to him. The concept of money itself is still pretty new to him. And he says, well, I'll tell you what, I don't have much, but I can lend you my services. What I would like to do, I'll give you 350 gold. What I'd like for you to do is to attach this rune to the end of a staff, but I'd like for that staff to be able to find a way to do some healing. Because last time I could have really used it because I was in a bad way.
Well, what can you do? I mean, I do have an apprentice already, but
of course. And he kind of looks around and he says, "Don't tell me, but just think of your favorite meal that you might have here in town." And as he does this, he kind of reaches down into his pocket and he pulls out just a single. It's a copper. I don't know. It's about the size of a stamp, and he just kind of sits there and he holds it. And as he does that, I'm going to cast my Detect Thoughts.
Okay. You've got him thinking about his favorite meal, and he's thinking of a wonderful squid gut stew that is served in one of the seedier bars down by the docks. That it doesn't matter how ugly and how tattered and the people that are coming in may be. That squid gut stew is one of his favorites. Oh yes.
As he's sitting there, kind of warming the piece of copper in his hand, he looks up and he says, "I see. Ah, it's probably something local, I would say. Something from the ocean.
Yeah.
Is it the squid gut stew? I wish I could think of the bar's name, but I know it. It's down by the docks."
Oh yes. I almost talked myself into getting some of it this afternoon just now. Yes.
So it's what I would be willing to do. I've got some time to kill here. I've got 7 to 10 days, depending on how bad my friends got charged, that I need to kill. I'd be happy to work off the difference, see if I couldn't maybe give you a way to reach out to the people on the streets, maybe a way to make close sales when you haven't had the opportunity otherwise.
Oh, well, tell you what. I'll agree to it. I will. But, you're an adventurer, right?
I am.
Do you like the dangerous stuff?
That's why I'm looking for that staff.
And in his eye, you see that twinkle, that glow, that... I have an idea. If you come across anything special, let's say... I don't know. Since you want that staff, let's say that it will be on loan to you after you work for me. Up until the point that you bring me a staff to replace it. Or bring it back.
Ryan,
Because that staff honestly has been sitting here for a while, and I wouldn't mind lending it out, especially if you tell everybody where you got it.
so I'm not going to have to pay for anything then.
Well, your work service will make up for what the cost will be. Think of it more as a down payment. This gold, and he pulls it over to him as a down payment.
And then the services that I render make that staff mine. Then I would assume. I don't think it would at that point be on loan.
10 days for 400 gold?
I mean, I don't have to buy it. It's not a necessity.
No. I would appreciate the advertisement. Yes. As I said, and again, let's consider this. Okay, not a down payment. Let's do this as a. What? Well, let's just say if you bring me the staff back, I'll give you your gold back too. If you don't bring the staff back and you bring me a new staff, wonderful, even better. Yeah.
Ryan kind of looks to the side and looks at it. He hesitantly agrees to the terms, unpleased with the way that this worked out.
All right. He says, all right, come on back here. I'm going to show you everything you need. All right. Going to help you out here. Going to get you really nice and set up. And I've got a really great sign I want you to wear and go outside for me. And at this time, the door opens and it hits the bell. And you hear the nice tinkle of the morning twinkle bell. And in walks in this man.
In walks in a man in a silver cothardy that has a red horse embroidered into it. He has long hair, and he's quite tall, strong jaw, and looks almost lackadaisical. He has a very noble kind of bearing to him. This is Sir Laurel Edgar Chaucers Mon Edinburgh. And he looks at Ryan. Shop boy!
Ryan sits there and looks at the man showing him the door, and he says, "I think he's calling out for your apprentice." And he sits there and he turns around and he looks. One moment, sir. This guy's a little frazzled with his first customer. I'm sure he'll get to you as soon as he can.
Shop boy, just 2 potions of healing, please.
And he sits there and he points and he's like, "Oh, or are you talking to me?"
Yes, are you not a shop boy?
He
You clearly can't afford to shop here.
Ryan kind of smiles and he looks at the guy who runs the place and he says, "Well, I believe this is the first thing I'm going to do for you." So he goes over and he says, "Where are they at?" Kind of asking the shop owner. And as he gets them pointed out to him, he goes over and he grabs 2 of them down and he sets them in front of Sir Laurel Edgar Chaucer's on there. Thank you for speaking again, Edinburgh. And he says, "All right, here you go."
Right.
So,
Also, coming up beside you, this man. Oh yes. Sorry. Yes, I got the letter. I knew you were coming today. Sorry. Your special orders. I have them. And he goes running back into the back, separates the curtains, comes running back out, and he has a wooden box in his hand, and he sets it down in front of you. Sir needs a shorter name, and opens it up. Inside, you find 2 flasks. These are glass flasks. They do not seem to be of a special make at all, but they do have. Excuse me. You do see a raised symbol in the glass marking the morning twinkle, and he goes, "Yes, these. If you will, I took a little liberty with the idea. It just came to me in my sleep. These you can actually you don't need to ingest. Should you be hurting, just rub it on. I'm quite certain it will work."
excellent. And he's picking up the vials and looking at them, kind of observing the glass. You still don't use Edinburgh glass.
No, I'm sorry.
But you do make a fine potion, which is why I come here.
Well, and also, sir, using Edinburgh glass, it would be it would be a dishonor because these I thought that if necessary, you could, instead of uncorking it and pouring, should you want to, break it.
Huh? Yes.
I don't think
This
you would want
does
to
look
break
like
the Edinburgh
glass
glass.
worth breaking. Yes. Edinburgh glass should certainly never be just smashed upon the ground. Well, shop boy. And he hands Ryan a copper piece.
And he gladly takes it.
Wonderful, and he has it. He leaves, and over the course of the next 10 days, you're able to become very good friends with this man. What would you like this man's name to be?
Who are you talking to?
You, Ryan.
Which are you talking about? The apprentice here?
The gentleman running the Morning Twinkle.
Oh, let's see. I like the name Jean Von Claude.
All right.
It's for you, buddy.
Thank you. Jean Von Claude. Okay. Jean Von Claude is very, very appreciative. He appreciates your help as you go along. You're able to attract a lot of business. In fact, for the first couple of days, he has you wearing a sandwich sign out in the streets, walking along up and down the block, just trying to help. I assume you're able to use your magic and your quick wit and charm to draw a lot of attention to the store. He's also very impressed with this. Starts bringing you inside to work with the customers that you have brought in. Sees that you're doing such a great job of that. Starts to keep you inside, and at the same time, you're able to make very good friends with soon to be finished apprenticing, or soon to be finished. I don't know the best way to say that. Anyway, go ahead and type it in. I don't care. But his soon to be finished apprenticing apprentice, Dacre Mole.
He's no Von Claude.
No, he's not. Okay, time out. Gotta share because this is ridiculous. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate a good wit. Always, Jeremy, award yourself an inspiration for this one. Jeremy just put for Jean Von Claude. If anything ever happens to Jean Von Claude, we shall build a dam in his honor. Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you have that inspiration. Great. And Dacre Mole is able to be you're able to make great friends with him. Was there anything you were wanting to do with Dacre?
I would, especially since I knew that his apprenticeship was going to be up soon, I would, just through kind of small talk, I would have probably brought up, let it kind of slip that I came from a place where there was a forge that in itself had a capability to, it just had a natural magical sense about it. I wouldn't necessarily tell him what the name of it was, not to toot my own horn, but I would kind of let him know about Sorrow's Rest and recommend that might be a place worth maybe visiting sometime because you could really sink your teeth in with Valsafar, who I believe, if I'm recalling the name right, is the blacksmith.
Yes, Valsafar is the blacksmith, and yep.
Probably at closing time, I would have spoken with both of them about this. Just saying, someday you'll have to come and see this place. It looks like it's right up your alley. If he has the ability that sometimes it's not necessarily just the talent of the smith, but the power of the forge, and it's a pretty damn powerful forge.
Wonderful. Dacre is very, very excited about maybe after finishing his apprenticeship being able to find a place to settle and make a name for himself, especially in a place that, as you've learned about him, he thrives on the feeling of feeling necessary and being wanted. And you're able to build on that and play off of that so well that he would be happy when his apprenticeship finishes to go and join the community of Sorrow's Rest. Now, moving on. That would be the end of your 10 days. I'm going to go over to two fine gentlemen who are currently being given back their items and being asked to take care and be fine gentlemen in the community. Bear, Garn, you have been able to to don your armor, to have your belonging back. You find everything that you had. Well, you find it in order, and you walk out of the garrison. As you leave the garrison, there is a man standing at the outer wall of the garrison, leaning up against one of the posts, directly behind one of the garrison guards, who seem to be paying him absolutely no attention. He sees you. He begins clapping. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. But now I do, and I am so happy to have been able to facilitate your stay, gentlemen. Gentlemen, come and walk with me. We have a conversation that needs to be had.
Garn will look at him for a few minutes, and then, he'll follow with him, and he will hit Bear on the shoulder and says, "Next round, we do it for reals."
Bear kind of looks at Gar and kind of chuckles and goes, "Not bad fighting for a pink squirrel."
Cool. You guys recognize this man to be Soul, the man that you've currently been working with. He looks at you walking down the street. Gentlemen, again, this place is so full of people walking up and down the streets. This place is so alive. This place is just so much of a hustle and bustle that he is openly speaking to you, not in the least bit worried about what would be heard. As he's walking, you find that he will steer you to the far side of the street from any town guards as during this conversation, though. Gentlemen, I trust that your stay was comfortable? Yes, 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 yes. Never mind the jokes, I apologize. But we've been able to get the mold of the key. We've been able to make that key, actually a set of keys. It was done very, very quickly, I understand, but I'm very proud of your job. Smashing plan. Yes, yes. Oh, man, that has us and the boys laughing all of the time. But we do have some business. Do you happen to know where your friend is? Have you seen Drim, or have you seen Ryan?
Ryan seemed to be looking for something. I think we saw him the second day we were here, but he's been preoccupied, so eventually we'll run across him. We always do. Drim, no, I haven't seen him.
All right. Well, I think we're going to find Ryan very soon. Very, very soon. In fact, and he smacks you on the back, Bear. And he smacks you on the back, Garn. Gentlemen, tonight, dinner is on me. I happen to know a very fine establishment. And, in fact, I think we have been there once before. Yes, do you remember the King's Table in Northtown, where we met that first time? Well, where we spoke and had our meal before you started chasing pink squirrels.
Yes, I remember it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's. A man comes running up to Soul, leans in, whispers in his ear, and runs off. And he goes, "Ah, yes, we have found Ryan. Follow me. This will be fine." And Ryan, as you're finishing doing your farewells at the close of the day, the bell rings one more time. Somebody has forgotten to lock the door at closing time, and walk in Soul, followed by Garn and Bear.
Seems it's already been 10 days then, has it?
Oh yeah.
Bear looks at Ryan and looks at Garn and goes, "I'm hungry."
Ryan kind of walks over and again reaches into. Now Ryan is a little bit different than the last time you saw him. He has, with his cut, made some purchases. The first one, like we kind of talked about in the opening there, he's now got a little bit more scruff on his face. It has been a few weeks, probably even longer than that since we first described him. So he is starting to get a little bit of a chin strap with a scraggly look to the beard. His hair, which was kind of a military short and flat on top, has started to gain a little bit of length there. But he had been wearing the red, kind of dusted up, old, crappy suit that he had been given. He's not wearing that anymore. He's got a little bit nicer vest on. He's got wraps up his forearms that come down over his fingers. CCM Punk Beyond that, he is wearing kind of the same thing as the leggings go of it's, I don't know, it's probably a short kilt looking attire, but it kind of hits him right above the knee, and he is wearing pants underneath that with his boots. But that's kind of what he is now looking. So, but you would recognize him because it's only been 10 days for you. But yeah, so, but he walks over to him and he reaches inside his vest and he's got two other money purses and he hands one to each of them and he looks at Soul and he says, "This was the payment, so this is your cut. Thank you very much." And he hands them both, and I'll type the amount in chat so you know how much you got.
So I see you've stepped up in society a little bit, starting to try to grow a full beard there.
And he kind of takes a minute. He's like, "Oh, I don't guess stepping up in the world. I don't know if that's what I've been doing here. I've been trying to get something that can help us. Have I gotten the from Mr. Von Claude? Have I received my end of that deal?"
You've not yet received it. In fact, it has been pulled off the rack and kept in the back. But as you have been speaking to them, he comes back out of the back with the staff and is holding on to it, feeling very, very happy with this. And he goes, "Now, I want you to know this. I didn't just enchant this. This was." You watch him smile as this memory comes to lights across his face. A very good friend of mine used this, and it was, well, let's just say I couldn't let it go. So I enchanted it to do this, to heal. My friend did everything he could to save everyone he came across. A little lofty for him, but Air would be proud if you use this.
He reaches out and he says, "What was that name?"
Ayer, Ayer.
Well, and as he's kind of holding it, he takes it and he just very simply kind of grabs it with one hand and grabs the base with the other hand. And as he begins to slide it and kind of put the butt into the ground, the top of the staff finally becomes to about eye level of Ryan, and he sees his little crystal, his little gem, I suppose is the best way, and it's been kind of socketed on the front of the staff itself. And he says, "Well, hopefully I can make Air and yourself, of course, proud. I appreciate it, and our deal, since Ryan did not have very much history with these types of items, initially these 10 days have done good to teach him a little bit better about the worth of what he has versus what he paid. So he has, between that time, kind of accepted the terms of, hey, he'll hold on to the original amount of gold, and if he can bring the staff back, he'll get that gold. But yeah."
Okay.
So he says, hopefully I can make you proud.
As you're saying this to him, he gets a little teary. He wipes a tear out of his eye. Now, I haven't yet explained to you what the rest of what that gem does. I'm very, very impressed that you came across one. I've heard of them, but I've not seen many of them. Here, let me see the staff.
And he extends it out to him.
He takes the staff and he goes, "On!" And you watch the gem come to light. "Off!" I assume you knew this property already, yes? It's the most obvious of the properties that this gem holds.
Correct.
And he goes, "Now watch this one." And he points it out. What you've known to be this whole building is made up of, is made to be his mad workshop that people come into very carefully to buy things. And he points it up to one of the flues in the ceiling, and he goes, Sula! And at Sula, you watch the gym fire a brilliant beam of light right up into the sky, and then just dissipate into the sky. He goes, this that light can potentially blind a person.
And kind of shielding his own eyes, now wishing he did still have his little visor set. He sits there and looks, and he says, I see. And that's what it does then, huh?
Well, there's one more. And he goes, he shouts into the back, Dagger, come up front! Dagger comes running up. Yes? He goes, stand over there! And you've heard too many times in the past 10 days, Jean shout out to Dacre, stand over there! And Dacre goes across the room, and the rest of you crowd behind Jean. And he goes, now this is a good one too. And he goes...
Yeah, Ryan kind of turns to the group and tells them to back up.
He points the staff at him, and he goes, oh, boom! And with that, a blinding flare doesn't shoot out in a line. It shoots out in a 30-foot cone. And you watch him immediately. And he falls to his knees. And Dacre's just writhing in the floor with the pain searing in his eyes. I can't see! And John turns to you and smiles. Yes. Yes. This works. Be very careful. Do not say either of those words. Understand, though, that this item has only a finite amount of power. Using on and off does nothing to use up the power, but using, and he sets it down beside him, and he goes, using Afum will use more of the power of the two. Between the two, Afum will use much, much more of the power.
And he says, I understand. And before he reaches for the staff, he says, Sula and Afu. Those are my words.
And Afum. Yes.
Afum.
Now, understand, I do apologize. From what I can tell, this item is only at 2/3 power. Some of its, well, let's just say some of its power has been expended.
Well, the place that we found it was not behind glass, so it is all right. I appreciate the information you can give me here.
Thank you. And for your knowledge, that means that you're going to be sitting at about 38 charges left on it.
Is that including that which he just used?
Yes, that is including that which he just used.
Okay. Cool. But after he kind of gets that, he thanks Von Claude, and he turns around and he says, so that was the demonstration. And he holds up the staff and he says, but this is a lifesaver. And he kind of turns back and he says, Von Claude, in case I don't see you, we'll see you. And he turns to walk out.
And as you're walking away, he's going, remember, if you find a better stuff, you can trade it and we'll be good. Tell everybody where you got it.
And he raises the staff up to let him know that he's acknowledging what he said there.
Wonderful. And Saul is going to walk out with the three of you. Very happy to see you. That's a mighty, mighty nice piece of equipment you've gotten there. Very nice. Would you like some dinner? I am quite certain it'll be much better than anything you've had in the past 10 days.
I think anything at this point. The old man in there, he is a fan of the old squid gut, and I have had my fill. So let's go get anything else.
There, wonderful. Remember the king's table?
Yes.
Great. Well, then we are on our way there. This is going to be a good meal, gentlemen, and we have much to discuss. And he leads you up through Southtown, across one of the great bridges, over through Northtown to the King's Table. You walk into the King's Table, and you see many of the men that the couple of men that you have seen before with Soul. One is standing back at the kitchen door, and another is is actually working working behind the bar tonight at the King's Table. Walking through to the back, he walks straight up to the big man. The big man moves out of the way, opens the door for Soul, gestures for the rest, and Soul turns around, gestures for the rest of you to walk back with him into the kitchen.
I will walk back to the kitchen, welcoming the smell of actual meat instead of bread.
The hell you beat me that back there. I pushed Garn out of the way. I'm going first.
Gentlemen, I promise food will be had, but first we need to get to some business. And I promise food is with the business.
Ryan kind of smiles and he says, "I've missed you guys."
Barrett kind of gives a orcish grin and goes, "Aw, you're becoming emotional." And he pats him on the back. He goes, "That's good. That's good." But I'm hungry.
Garn, you're gonna get this one. Garn, just the smells and the aromas are overwhelming you. It's so wonderful and beautiful in comparison to all of the bread and water you've been drinking and the smell of sea that you have been getting inside of the garrison. But as you are doing this, you notice all of the people working in the back, men and women alike, are all busy cooking, busy taking care of dishes, busy taking care of everything that needs to be done. Even the waiters, as the wait staff seems to be more agile, and the cook staff seems to be more hardy. Go ahead and roll insight for me there, Garn.
Okay. Do I have all this? Yes, I do. Okay. I got a 9.
All right. To you, it's very strange to have so many large men and women working in the kitchen, and to have so many light-of-foot people taking out meals. It just something about it doesn't sit right with you. Soul continues to lead you through the entire kitchen until you get back to the wash basin, and the man at the wash basin, who's got his hands all the way down into the tub, sleeves rolled up very high up on his arms, nods at Soul and keeps washing. Soul walks up to the wall beside the man. You watch him feel across, reach in to a broken piece of wood, moves the wood, and you see the wood swing, and then he presses a button, and the door swings open. You find a set of stairs that spiral down into the ground. He looks back at you, waves you in, and walks down the stairs.
Oh, now getting very leery of all this. Now he will keep a weapon close to him, but he will follow Soul down into the spiral.
Cool. Anybody else do anything different?
Noticing, am I able to notice Garn acting differently? Like, different than normal?
Nope.
Well,
I mean, if you want to look
that
for it, you can roll perception, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, Bear is always on the ever vigilant.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's not good just from what I wrote. But the quest for food is not an easy one. I got an 11, I believe. No, 10. I rolled a 10.
No, nope, nothing. And Ryan, are you following?
Yeah, is it dark?
No, actually, there are very short chandeliers hanging from the very tops. These ceilings aren't 7 foot tall. These ceilings are more like 10 foot tall, with these chandeliers, more wooden, more used for practical purposes, not rather than decoration.
Cool.
They're providing light in this stairwell.
Gotcha. Yeah, nothing special then. Just kind of walking, and as I'm going, kind of trying to get a feel for this staff as he's kind of taking his steps.
Okay. When you make it down to the bottom of the steps, the stairs come down into just a single arch, and the arch opens up into a very large underground room. There are mats all over the floor. You find people practicing combat. You find people who are working on dummies that are covered with bells. You find off in the corner, you see, you see a what you would know to be a dumbwaiter, some sort of elevator contraption where items can be taken up and down without having a person having to actually use the stairs. You find tables. You find a couple of doors on each wall, and the doors are all closed there. Soul turns and he says, "Welcome to my home, gentlemen. Yes, welcome to my home. I told you I would take you to our base. This is incredible, is it not?"
I'm guessing the staff above us. The staff is part of this little part of the group too.
Why, of course. It never hurts to have too many bodyguards, should we say, too many helpful members of our society.
Garn will push his dagger back into the holster so it'll be tightly held in there,
Mhm.
and relax a little bit.
Okay. He's, "Gentlemen," and he starts to gesture you over to one of the tables on the side of the room. He looks over at one of the other men, and he points at the dumbwaiter. The man, seeing him, nods, runs over, and starts to um, pull the rope beside the dumbwaiter, beside the shaft, and he invites you to sit down at this table. And after you've all taken a seat, he looks at you and says, "Gentlemen, I've come across some very interesting information. Um, I have another group of men right now handling the situation with the key. I appreciate you again very much for doing that. That was very, very kind and fortuitous of you. But something else has arisen, and I would like for you. Actually, rather, not I would like for you to. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I talk to you like you're one of my own men. I think that you would actually enjoy this information more. Recently, one of our scouts, having to run away from a job, shall we say, having gone through the sewers in a normal escape route, came across, well, I thought we had kept the sewers clean, but it seems as though a large Otyuk has moved into the sewers, and we honestly, I would really appreciate it if you would take care of that Otyuk in order to keep our escape routes clean and clear, as well as clear as the sewers can be. Am I right? That's right.
Ryan kind of looks up and he says, "What do you have a problem with?"
Otyuk? Have you not heard of an Otyuk?
And Ryan just kind of shakes his head.
Okay.
Not something I'm familiar with.
Well, cool. Well, then, anybody else, if you'd like to go ahead and roll Arcana or Intelligence.
Okay.
Be my guest.
I was about to say, isn't it like a plant-like creature?
Plant-like? No.
It's not an oak tree. It's a okatuki.
Oh, Otyug.
Otyug.
Oh.
Yes. Tell me of
Well-
this Otyug.
Well, they down here a lot of the well, we call them sewer runners, the men who have to use those escape hatches. They call them shit eaters.
Awesome.
Yes. They spend a lot of time down, well, wherever there's anything like the dead things, rotten things, and they do a lot to, keep them out. Don't know how it really got in. Those sewers lead straight to the seas, but they're plugged up off on the rest of the land. It's rather confusing, but well, it's down there, and I'd really appreciate it, if you took care of it. Again, gentlemen, feel free, now that you are aware of our base of operations, please consider yourself one of us, and feel free to use one of the rooms. And he points to one of the doors along the other wall. The room is full of beds, and the beds belong to no one specifically. So if you need a bed, feel free to come by and sleep. Yes, and I'll always keep you in mind for any jobs like this. And, well, I do have some pay I'd be willing to give you for this as well.
Where would our entry point to the sewers be?
Well, let me find... Maven! Maven! And a man coming over from the dumbwaiter with his hands full sets down in front of you more of that roast mutton and ale that you had the, 10 evenings ago. As if it's the house specialty. And he goes, yes, sir. Can you show these men how to get back to that Otiuk you saw? You see his eyes get big and goes, yes, sir. Gentlemen, I'll take you back to where I saw it, but I'd really... Oh, it scared me. It almost got me. I'm surprised I even made it back alive. But I'd be happy to show you to the area that I saw it.
You take us as close as you feel comfortable, and we'll find it from there. As I'm picking up the meat and the ale, I'm not even waiting for him to answer or offer. Darn's just started eating.
And
Kid and Bear's not paid attention to any of you.
that's why Bear's not said a word. He saw the food and immediately started eating. I don't care what you have to say. I'm busy. Soul waves Maven away and says, thank you, Maven. We really appreciate it. Soul sits back and watching the two of you eat, looks over at Ryan, nods toward the food, and going, help yourself.
Ryan is currently not interested. He is intrigued with this Otiug, this idea. So right now he's not eating anything.
Okay. So
he might pick at it, but he's not like he'll sit there and kind of put his finger in it and kind of move it between his fingers and put it back down.
Well,
looks good. He's just not. There are other things on his mind.
Well, I'll tell you that I personally have only ever seen pictures of an Otiug, and I think Maven would be best to describe this one specifically, in case there's anything special about it other than the giant mouth and the tentacles coming out of its back. Yeah.
His eyes get real big, and he's like, I'd love to discuss pay on this, but it sounds like this is a problem, and one that you had said you'd be willing to pay. This sounds like something we might do for you.
Well, those sewers are very, very important to us, and those escape hatches are very, very useful. Honestly, gentlemen, I'd be willing to pay you each 150 gold.
Ryan kind of looks over at the other two who are still face first into the food, and he says, that sounds like those are agreeable terms.
Wonderful, wonderful. I hate to ask you this, but do you think you could accomplish that sooner than later? It's very likely that we'll be needing those escape routes very soon.
And Ryan kind of quizzically looks at him out of the corner of his eye, and he says, I suppose it's best we not know. So, yes, we can. That seems like a likely task to be done quickly.
Great, great. And he sits back and goes, wonderful, wonderful. Where? I'm sorry if you don't mind me asking, but last time I saw, weren't there 5 of you?
He kind of smiles and trying to recall the 5 that he saw. He says, well, of course there was Drim. He had business to take care of. So he is just out of pocket now. He kind of smiles and he says, and it dawns on him, and he's like, yes. I believe Shay is probably wandering around town somewhere. The draw and allure of the taverns, which Alathius has boasted many, might be keeping him pretty content for now. He may not be able to be reached at this moment.
Oh, no. He's easily reached. In fact, Shay, this character, Shay, I've not been too worried about him. I've had one of my men, honestly, to be fair with you, I've had one of my men trailing him since the day he left your group. So if you ever do need him, we can reach him very easily. That being said, that is also how I was able to find you, Ryan. But that Drim character, he's very good. I might need to offer him a job at some point too. And you're watching the wheels turn his head. But anyway, that Otuk, I highly consider. Well, let's just say you're going to need another friend. When you go back up to the bar, you can pick up anybody you wish, anybody you see, anybody working in the kitchen. Well, and he's looking at you going, okay, it's this thing. He's watching hours. He goes, okay, well, they'll be ready in probably about 3 or 4 hours. Honestly, there may be some of the men up there who are finished, or maybe some of my own men will be coming in, and you could speak to them. But yes, I would highly suggest this Otuk. After having it described to me, I think that 3 of you may not be enough. I'm a little nervous about 4, but 4 stands a much better chance than 3.
He says, so the 3 or 4 hours to wait on one of these people, their shifts to end, is that enough time for you, or would you like it at least begin before that time?
Well, if our only option is to wait, then I will be fine with waiting. But I would prefer if you tried to find somebody sooner rather than later. And he says, and gentlemen, if you wish to take a handful of mutton with you, be my guest. There will always be more.
How big is this O2?
Let's see. You are what, 6 foot tall?
Yes, 6'1".
Okay. Let's say that this thing might be twice as tall as you. According to what Maven said. Yes. Well, he said it was bigger than normal. And a normal Otuk would be somewhere around 9-10 feet. He said this one's head was scraping along the top. Those sewers are really only... Oh, man. They're about 10 foot wide. 15 foot, maybe? About 15 foot tall as well. Scraping its head, it'd have to be tall. Well, you get the picture. 4 is better than 3.
He turns to Garn and he says, well, do you want to stay down here and continue eating, and I can go see if I can't find somebody? Or would you guys like to come up with me?
I'll come with you. Never know.
He did say you could grab a handful of that mutton there, so.
Oh yeah, I have 2 handfuls. We also, if we're going to be fighting something that's bigger than me, we may need to also look into maybe limiting its way of moving. If it's got a big mouth and he said tentacles, I've never seen anything like that, but I think we would want to keep as much of it from attacking us as possible.
As very wise words, Fred. Perhaps somebody up top might know of a way to deal with that.
Okay.
Bear will stand up with a mutton in each hand and go and point using the mutton as a sword and goes, "To the service!"
Ryan smiles, almost grins, almost busting out a little chuckle. And he says, "Well then, Soul, I'm going to leave you for now. If we have any other questions or need to be redirected, we'll come find you."
I appreciate you, gentlemen. Appreciate you. And he stands up and he walks across the length of the room and goes to the single door along the far wall. Opens the door, goes in, shuts the door. When you guys are able to make it upstairs, you find you see easily, or Garn is able to easily notice that everybody that is working in the kitchen seems to still be very, very busy at this point. Cutting meat, preparing meals. Some people are boiling potatoes. People are doing just being kept busy in the kitchen. You pass the big man with his hands down, washing the dishes, keeping them as clean. Well, there is no as clean as possible. This is a very, very clean and tidy place. People running in and out the doors, and you make it into the dining room area of this tavern. Walk around the big man who is guarding the door into the kitchen, and you see a very familiar face there, Ryan. It happens to be the man who called you shop boy.
Ryan kind of smiles, and
he's sitting there with three other people. He is obviously the best dressed of the three, and the three other people seem to be eating scraps at every moment that he actually allows them to. But for the most part, they seem to be taking all of their cues and orders from him.
So yeah, Ryan kind of smiles at his two party members and says, "I think I see somebody who might be able to help us. While you guys were locked away, I had a run-in with one of these brutes, and he's at least dressed for the part. So let's see what he's got." And Ryan kind of heads him over and says, "Let's go talk to him."
Okay. I will follow behind Ryan since he knows who I'm gonna say he knows who he's talking about.
Cool. So yeah,
Go
ahead.
Bear will follow aimlessly. Finish gnawing on a bone.
So he walks over and he says, "Ah, yes, Sir Edgar Charles Laurel Von. Sir, how are you doing tonight?"
What? I remember you. You're that shop boy. What? Did Von Claude let you go? Is that why you're here?
Maybe something along those lines. Yes.
I take it you're escorting these two beggars outside, then, right?
And Ryan kind of looks behind him again, looking at that they hadn't changed clothes from their 10 days and perhaps stinking a little bit. But he smiles and he says, they happen to be my friends. And
you can't mix friends with work, I assume.
Depends on what your vocation is. And ours happens to be adventurous.
So, why are you here?
Well, I was actually curious. What are you doing here?
Well, they do have delicious mustard prawns.
And he kind of looks at him weird. Yes, mustard prawns. I was actually curious. the regalia from the way that you held yourself uh, at the Morning Twinkle. Tell me, are you often out about town? What is it that you seek? Is it glory? Is it pride for your name? What are you doing?
Why, my friend, I am I am Sir Laurel Edgar Chaucer's Mon Edinburgh of the Edinburghs. Not only that, but my mother comes from the Pomeroys. Why are
Uh,
you staring at me like that?
Sorry, you'll have to excuse me. We're not from around here. Most of us aren't really from anywhere, so you'll have to forgive me for not knowing your great family's name.
Yes, they do have the appearance of men who were raised by wolves. So what?
Says, I think actually it's bears, but you seem like you're on the right track. You seem like a decent judge of character, at least by reading the
Of
cover
course
of the
I'm a
book.
decent judge of character. But I suppose you could say I'm a knight.
A knight, do you have a cause?
Of course. I join tournaments, and sometimes I win. Oh, my last was kind of strange. However, that is my cause. To win fortune, fame, whatever is necessary. Honor, of course.
Well, I think I might be able to help you out here. We've got a bit of an honor quest ourselves for the patron of this fine facility here. He's asked us to achieve a certain task for him, and he said he was willing to pay. Fortune being one of the things that you look for. Uh, it might not be much in your eyes, but he was willing to pay 150 gold if we were able to accomplish our task per person. So you wouldn't have to split it with any beggars.
Well, that's not bad for a day's work. So what does it involve?
I'm not sure that it's something that you would be interested in, but figured I'd come to you first. We got to deal with a creature, but that creature resides in a dank place, somewhere you might not want to travel to.
Oh, a cavern.
Uh, of sorts, yes. It's actually in the sewers.
Sewers?
Yes, here in town, indeed.
What adventure lies in the sewers?
Apparently, a great beast, one of which has an enormous mouth and tentacles.
And I assume it invaded your homes?
Not mine. We're being hired by a man who he
You'll have to
needs the
forgive me.
sewers clear.
They do sort of smell as though they live down there, you know.
Yes, sadly it does. I agree. But that is the task. Is that worth 150 gold to you?
And the prestige? Is there any honor? What?
I'm sure that maybe not amongst the entirety of Alathius, but definitely from the person who owns this joint, he would be very proud, and he would definitely give you much renown for it.
Of course. I could lead you men to victory. Yes.
Yes, you could lead us.
Lead us.
Ryan kind of turns around and he, behind his back, kind of puts a finger up, and he's like, "This sounds like this guy's pot of tea. So I think that might be what he needs to know so that he can come with us."
That one can speak. What are you?
I'm an Earth genocide.
Earth Oh, of course, an Earth genocide. Yes, yes. One of my friends growing up was one. Yes, of course.
And I will actually I will chuckle a little bit and continue to drink.
Right. Well, I suppose I'll need to.
I hate doing this, but I would like to cast a spell. I'd like to detect thoughts to see if he's telling the truth. Actually, I'll just roll insight to see if you're telling the truth. I got a 3, so that's up to you.
For all you know, he's telling the truth.
For all you know.
He says, "Well, if one of your friends was like our buddy here, then perhaps us meeting was fate."
Fate. Perhaps. I suppose I should fetch my armor.
He kind of looks at the table and he's like, "Do you think one of these errand boys might be fit for that job?"
Yes, I do.
What other tricks do they do?
Well, that's my squire, Julian. The other two are lesser knights. They're not as renowned, but you've got to impart your wisdom on people, you know? Well, maybe you don't, but someday. Someday you'll be a great shopkeeper.
He says, "Yes, if only the fate is in my favor, then I'll be a great shopkeeper someday."
Right. Julian, fetch my armor. Julian runs
Yes,
off,
sir.
fetches armor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be right back. Yes, I will. You can
On
count
the
on
horse,
me.
of course.
And the horse. Yes, sir. And the horse.
Yes. And then take the horse back after you bring me the armor and my sword. And what is it we're looking for again?
I believe it was called an Otug.
All right. Let's see what he would know. All right. What sort of check would this be?
I'll go with Arcana or just Intelligence.
All right. That's a 5.
Awesome.
So Ryan could not pronounce it correctly enough for you to recognize it.
You know an Otug has tentacles and a big mouth, and your entire knowledge of it right now, it's completely slipped your mind except for what he has described it to you as.
Right. Yes. Just my blade, my shield, and my armor. And some torches.
And Ryan says, I don't think you'll need the torches. We've got that part under control."
Oh, no torches. Excellent. No, go on. Go. Hurry.
And Julian goes running out the door, and within an hour, comes back with everything that you need, panting and out of breath, and obviously having overexerted his or herself. Thank you, gender-neutral names.
Julian is a boy.
Okay, after having overexerted himself.
And he's got some fine chainmail. His shield bears the red horse of the Pomeroys. And his sword is very ornate. Well decorated hilt Well, are we ready, men?
Ryan turns to look to Garn and Bear to see if they're ready.
I look for set the bones down on the set a bone down and says I'm ready whenever.
Putting his bear mantle on and slipping his what little armor he does wear into actual combat, and he finishes his ale and he goes, "I'm ready."
And during that brief time where maybe he was speaking with Julian, Ryan has a brief conversation saying, "It sounds like this guy, he likes to be in charge. So let's just do our best. Worst case scenario, uh, he helps us defeat it, and we can split his cut of the gold our way if he doesn't come back with us. Best case scenario, he sees what we're capable of, and then perhaps consider us a little bit more equal."
He doesn't look like he's been outside of town. I don't know exactly how much help he's going to be. I don't want to drag a dandy around with me.
He says, "Well, if nothing else, perhaps his family would pay the great Edinburghs might pay a great reward for news about his, uh, at least the passing. We'll see. Perhaps we can turn this in our favor."
Agreed.
While they're sitting there talking, Barry just kind of like is watching the guy, kind of tilts his head, never personally encountering somebody that talks so to Bear fruity. Well, strangely, I should say.
All right. Well, guys, we will go ahead and let's take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, Maven will tell you what he saw as he walks you to the sewer entrance.
Woo!
Yeah.
We're fighting a strange creature that I thought was a plant. I think what I was thinking of is an Otagi. One of those plant creatures from Final Fantasy, I guess. I think that's what they're called. Hachu, whatever they do, surname. Yeah, I'm gonna stretch my feet while we're waiting.
All right. Yeah, I see Caleb, and Jeremy's not back yet. Clyde, Eric, are you guys back?
I'm Eotha.
Cool. Eric's here.
And I just sit down.
Sweet. Clyde just got back. Caleb, Jeremy. Well, I hope whenever Jeremy gets back, I hope he can hear this. I'll talk really loud. Okay, Caleb. No. You two really need to go back and just watch that entire sequence that you just did. I'm so glad that I was on mute and that I had muted my camera, because seriously, the the things that the both of you were saying and that you're reacting to had me like, it was a little bit more than a chuckle fest over here. I was over like, I'm over here really laughing. I looked at my girlfriend who walked by and I was like, they can't see or hear me. This is so great.
Laughing at whose statements?
At both of them as they're just talking to each other, and it's, I mean, it was a great little, gosh, 5 or 10 minutes of the characters just looking at each other and feeling each other out, but being totally themselves. It was great. Oh my gosh. So it was just, it's some really funny stuff, and you guys need to go back and enjoy what you just did, because that was pretty awesome.
All right. I'm going to post a question here in the chat for you, Jim.
He's posting a question. For those of you watching the home game, I am totally eating some blackberry crumble ice cream right now. This is awesome. Go team. All right. So as you're walking with Maven, Maven is explaining to you that this thing is huge. It has 3 tentacles, and it has 3 tentacles, 2 of which it is very, very happy to, attack with, and one of them it seems to actually keep very close to the top of its above its mouth. It's been known to protect that tentacle specifically. In fact, when he was running from it, that's how he says he was able to get away from it. That he threw, he got, as it was coming at him, he was splashing and kicking, and he threw some of the sludge and crap and grime and sea yuck up into up into the air, and it actually hit that third tentacle, and it caused it to reel.
Really? Garn will take his part of his axe and make a big, circle. And start drawing out where he said the tentacles were. Yeah, and putting it to where he says, "Is this about where it is?"
A big circle?
Yeah, like I'm drawing the monster. You said it was. Is it how? What does it look like? Is it like a? Is it like predator like, or is it like a ball?
Oh yes, sharp teeth, big blocky body. It does have legs that it walks on. The tentacles are up at the top of its body.
And I'm
Bear,
just scratching it into the ground or into the wall. I said, and you said this tentacle up here is the one that it protects the best. That it does
Yes,
everything to protect.
yes, it works very hard. It obviously worked hard to protect it. It after I hit it, it went and covered it up and let out this tremendous roar.
I says we found our weak spot.
I look at Garn at the drawing. I says, I'm picturing, one of those old-fashioned cook stoves.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
four-legged, the broad cook stoves, stuff like that. That's, like I tried to explain it to Garn, so he could get a better idea of like a look for it.
Well, regardless, we found our way to attack it and maybe even keep it on the more defensive than being offensive.
Well, Bear says, what we could do, um, he says, well, we'll have to see the layout of the sewer. Like how much room we have to move down in the tunnels and whatnot. Says because as good as I do, uh, the you know predator creatures like that love to enclose heroes in the most ill-gotten uh, ill-gotten places. So when we get down to the sewers, we can better hatch a plan for it. Bear says, and which reminds me, uh, Bear, as they're walking along, Bear takes out a little like an empty sack and starts picking up rocks.
All right.
Not just any rocks. He's very particular on his rocks.
All right.
Ryan kind of falls over himself and he says, "So would you say it's was it his eye? You think that's how he could see you, or did you see any eyes on this Otiug at all?"
Yeah. I'm really sorry. I honestly didn't get to stare at it. I didn't get much time to look it over other than catching, the obvious details, the big details, like the ones trying to eat me or hit me.
He says, "Well, I understand." And when it says "eat me," he kind of looks over at Sir Edinburgh, just kind of out of the corner of his eye, and he says, "Yes, I understand." Right now, Ryan's not sure what's going to happen to this guy.
And you guys, at this point, you've actually stopped walking. As you're saying this, not sure at all. It's like, whatever you just said, looking at him going, ah. You realize you've stopped. And if you look at your feet, you find a manhole. Yes, well, gentlemen, this is the best place to get into the sewers and get close to where I spotted it. Best of luck to you. I really do. You give that thing a good kicking and kill that son of a bitch for me, please.
Bear kind of looks down. And he goes, "I'm assuming we'll have to take like a cover off of it or whatnot, kind of like a sewer lid."
Yep.
Does it look like a big, heavy one that requires more than one?
You can both try it, no problem. It's easily large enough that both of you can help. That you can work together to pull it off.
Okay, so
Oh.
me and I'll lean down and take a hold of it and look at Bear. Give us a hand.
And Bear looks at him, and without missing a beat, he goes, "What? You asked for a hand?" He just shakes his hand and he walks over and helps him lift it.
The both of you are able to lift it easily. In fact, As you both lift, you both feel, oh, I could have done this on my own. You feel very confident and very happy that you're able to move it so quickly. There is there are metal pieces of bar that have been forced into the side of this vertical tunnel leading into the sewer that you can climb down easily.
How far is it down to the ground? Or can we not see?
Down in there, you cannot see.
Well, I mean, I've got 60 feet of dark vision. Is the reason why I was asking.
Then you can. At this point, you can actually see. You can see down to. You can see down to the base of the sewer.
Great.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of climb down as best I can, and once I get to the bottom, I'm going to kind of look at my staff and say on.
Okay. And the rest of you see the light shining in the tunnel, not necessarily shining bright enough to come of the out of the manhole, but easily enough for you to go, hey, he's down there safe. Uh, the manhole empties out onto the side of the sewer walls, not directly at the top in the center, Ninja Turtle style. I figured the five of us would be able to understand what that means.
Yep. So I
A
will.
certain generation going on right here at the table.
So I will climb down, and when I get to the bottom, I'll pull my great axe out. Are you planning on keeping that light on the whole time we're down here?
Ryan smiles and he says, "Just for you, my friend."
Okay. And not the only time, now that I have dark vision, he wants to bring a light. The whole adventure, no lights at all, but now.
you know, seeing
You're the
two
main reason I wanted it on the staff.
Oh, good.
Bear will scurry down there where they're at. Once it's a safe distance, he'll hop down to where they're at.
Edinburgh climbs down slowly. He sniffs and shudders at the smells of the sewer, but ultimately climbs down. Takes him just a second to put his foot on the actual ground.
What are your retainers doing?
Oh, they went with Julian.
Oh, they went away. Okay.
Yeah. They don't do combat. They're just like contacts within the city.
I didn't know if you had them following you around like Grapes or Robin.
Carry my things, knave. Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Got it. So you gentlemen are going through these sewers. From what you're able to see, the best example of these sewers is that it is a cylinder, and excuse me, and with as deep as this is, as if you walk up on the sides, because since it is cylinder, you can walk up out of the water for one. You're able to walk up out of the edge of the water, but only single file. But if you're walking in the sewer water, you are going to be slowed. You are going to be at half speed.
How big is it from the ground to the top?
It is 15 feet from center to center, going right up the middle.
Are these walkways on both sides of the sewage?
They're not necessarily walkways. It's just this. It's just the space that you would be able to walk on the
Unimpeded.
side of the wall before it becomes too vertical for you to walk on.
But so then in that case, yes.
Yeah.
We could do that on both sides.
Yes.
Cool. Then that's what I would recommend that we do.
Just out of curiosity, before I think of using this into our plot of when we fight this thing, if I cast spike growth, would it work on the in the sewer?
it require ground?
It
Doesn't want-
just says.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okie dokie. Well, I figured you find it before me, you know.
I have this amazing app.
Oh, well, damn. Okay, well, I don't have the amazing app. Found it. It says the ground in a 20-foot radius centered on a point within range twists and sprout hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage every 5 feet it travels. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast makes a wisdom perception check against the spell's DC to recognize the terrain as hazardous before entering it.
Okay. I'm going to say that second paragraph means that it wouldn't work on the worked stone of the sewer because you wouldn't be able to camouflage a sewer or a worked stone with thorns.
Okay.
That's what I'll go with for now.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. So, gentlemen, after traveling through the sewer for honestly no more than about 15 or 20 minutes, you start to hear great splashing. You're coming up to an intersection. There's great splashing coming from ahead of you.
Well, onward, men.
I'm on a motion for them to wait them to stop. Let's see. And I'm going to try to sneak up to the intersection to see if there's anything waiting on us on this intersection.
Okay. Make it stealth roll for me.
Okay. Come on, Bones. Oh, 17.
Okay. You are sneaking.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the intersection and peek around to see if there's anything up there. Was the splashing loud or was it kind of distant?
The splashing was very loud.
Okay, so yes, I will sneak up there and just peek around there to see if there's anything splashing around in there.
Okay, real quick. While you're doing that, how far back are you guys staying?
Well, considering I'm always, me and Garn seem to be in brothers in arms, kind of. I'll follow back safely so I don't harm his stealth check, I suppose. Following on the other side of the wall, of course. That way, kind of like being away from him.
Okay, so you're about 10 feet away from him then. 10 feet on the other side of the wall. I'll need you to make a stealth check as well.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Ryan, how far back are you staying?
I got a 15.
Okay, good.
I would probably also get on the other side, but I would make it so that however I perceived the rim of the light given off, that would be where Garn is sneaking to, that corner that he's going to. I would say of the dim light.
So you're staying back pretty far then.
So does this? I guess I assumed this thing only went. I didn't want to meta there, but I thought it only was 30 feet.
It's 30 feet bright, 30 feet dim.
Oh, I still don't want to give our position away, but this guy didn't say anything about eyes, so I'm going to. I don't know. Hopefully not in danger, but I am going to scoot up. I'm going to be probably, I don't know, 20 feet. So 10 feet behind where Bear is.
Okay. So you'll be about 20 feet away from Garn then. And, sir, what am I going to call you for short?
Edinburgh.
Sir Edinburgh.
Yeah. As soon as he saw Garn start to sneak, he would have stopped, because as he's walking, he's just jingling chain link armor.
Cool. Garn, you get up there and you see, you peek around the corner and I need you actually make a perception roll for me.
Okay.
You're going to have this with disadvantage.
Okay. Perception. Well, I rolled a 1, so I got 6.
All right. You can make out the shape of the creature, and you can tell that the creature is definitely down the way that you are looking, but you can't tell whether the creature is 30 feet away or 60 feet away. You're in a rough situation, for your roll, and with the way that the light is shining, there's not enough. All that's going down that side of the hallway is the dim light, so you're not able to get a really great look at it. So far, you guys have yet to deal with anything that has been as large as this thing has been described. So you don't know if you're not able to really judge whether what you're seeing is really big and far away, or not as big as what it's really being described in closer. But
okay.
at that same time, peeking around the edge, it will see you. And everybody hears a mighty bellowing guttural. And roll initiative, gentlemen. Yay.
$22.
All right. Well, Mr. 22, you hear the roar very, very loud, and you, from where you're standing, you can't see it yet. And you're first.
I am going. Excuse me. I am going to hold my action until it makes itself known.
Okay. There's not a
makes itself known as invisibly seen.
Okay. Holding your action isn't necessarily an option, but there is a ready your action option.
Oh, okay. So, ready my action until it becomes seen.
Okay. What are you readying your action to do?
I'm going to ready my action. How to word it? To, I guess, for when it shows itself. I want to say.
Okay. Well, when you ready an action, what is your action that you're going to do when you see it trigger?
I am going to I'm going to ready casting a little spell I call Magic Stone.
Okay. Cool. Ryan.
Is this also? I also cannot see it.
Not from where you are, and you're 20 feet away from that corner that Garn is standing at.
But hearing that sound, that kind of makes it seem like something might be heading our way. So what I would do is I would probably run up the wall, hopefully passing Bear without any trouble, and getting that light so that... Sorry?
Okay, cool. Make her an acrobatics check as you try to pass Bear.
That's not actually bad. That's an 11.
You're going to be able to do it. Wonderful. And as you go around that corner, Garn, you are able to see a whole lot better, and so are you, Ryan, that the thing is actually only about 30 feet away from the corner coming towards you, and it is very, very large. It is almost filling up the entire sewer.
So as I kind of point the light down that way, you would see Ryan's eyes getting very big, um, and just kind of as a still being attuned to the stone itself, but the staff being a little fresh in his hand, it kind of fires off magic missiles with a lot of recoil because he's not used to handling it. And just from that gem at the very top, it just you see 3 darts shoot out.
Cool. Go ahead and roll.
So 14 damage.
Really nice.
Yeah, almost max.
All right. Sir Edinburgh.
Do we skip Garn? He had an 11.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw you guys, and I switched your initiatives. Garn, you're up, and you can see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him. It's a
Yay!
yes.
Sweet.
And you said how far away was he? Has he?
He's 30 feet from where you are.
Okay, then I'm going to kind of take like a step back and hold the axe like a baseball bat, and I'm going to ready my action for when he turns the corner. I'm going to attack him.
Okay, so you stepped back in the direction that you came from.
Yeah, it's like just taking like not like okay, I was kind of peering, and now that I see him, I actually stand up and kind of get like in a baseball stance.
All right.
And I'm just waiting for him to come across where I can get a hold of him.
All right, and you stepped back 5 feet, right, or 10 feet?
No, I didn't step back at all.
Oh, I thought you said you stepped back and you hold it like a baseball bat.
Yeah, bro, you did say you stepped back.
Okay, then yeah, 5 feet. We'll go 5.
Okay, cool. That's all right. Now, Sir Edinburgh.
So Sir Edinburgh was frozen for a minute at this roar. He's never heard anything like that. He's heard the roar of crowds and the roar of men who didn't truly want to kill him so much as win a prize. And then he snaps into it as he sees the others headed towards the source of this roar. And he is moving forward towards that corner.
All right, and how far back were you again?
I stopped whenever Garn starts sneaking. So
let's say that you're about 20 feet behind Garn. So now you're 15 feet behind Garn?
okay, yeah, if he's moved forward, yeah.
All right, and so how far forward? You moved up to within 15 feet of him?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. Eotha comes rumbling up, and first, you're ready to action a magic stone.
All right, and as soon as it makes itself known, I will cast bonus action magic stone, and then I'm gonna, if I can, chunk one at it.
You actually could have cast magic stone this last round since it's a bonus action.
Yeah.
So you can let's go ahead and say that because you had that bonus action and this is a new one that you've not used yet. We can go ahead and say you got it. You're able to use your bonus action on your turn to do that. Rated your action to do this part with it. Go for it.
All right. Do spells crit?
Yes.
Well, I rolled a 20. Well, it's 27 altogether, but how the deuce would I do a stone?
It actually says that your damage is.
It's a D6 plus wisdom, I know. But I mean, well, so it would theoretically be 2d6.
It's a d6
Mm-hmm.
plus your wisdom, and then because we do crits, one of the dice is automatically maxed, and you roll the other one. So it's 6 plus your wisdom plus a d6 roll.
Oh, okay. So the base damage is it's 4 plus 6 is 10 plus wisdom plus 4, so 14 points of damage. And I don't think, considering it's a rock, and I'm not necessarily thinking my orc ability is going to go with it. Would I get the orc ability too?
Um, you know what?
It has to be a weapon, but considering these are rocks, I don't know if it would apply to that.
It actually says in the spell that you or someone else can make a ranged spell attack with one of the
Ah,
pebbles.
okay, so it's a spell attack. Okay, got you. Well, 14 points of damage, and I hit it with a rock.
That's right, you hit it with a rock, and it recoils in the exact same way as it did from all of the force damage.
How did Bear deal with it? I threw a rock at.
Cool. And then as it comes around the corner, Garn, it gets right into range. It gets right to you, and it swings at you, but is not within 5 feet of you. These tentacles are long and have reach. So this thing comes up. You see its mouth, literally the size of at least half of your body. Rah! These teeth that don't just come up to as normal teeth, but they seem to just stick straight out of its mouth as well. And it reaches around the corner and gives you a big swing. Yep, with the first attack hitting you. And you will take, oh, let's see, where to go? There it is. All right. You're going to take 11 bludgeoning damage and 1 piercing damage, and you are grappled and restrained. This giant tentacle comes out, it slaps you, and the end of it pokes into you, hits you hard, and then wraps itself around you. You are grappled and restrained. Excuse me, grappled means that your speed is 0. The condition ends if you are able to escape or if you are incapacitated. And restrained is attack rolls against you have advantage, and attack rolls that you make have disadvantage, and you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, all until you escape.
Okay.
And there's not another one for another person around for it to hit. So it's going to attempt to bring you to its mouth and to take a bite out of you. And that one is a 19, so that's going to hit you as well. And I just rolled 2 ones. You're welcome. There's 5 piercing damage. And I need you to make a con save for me.
All right. 8.
An 8 total?
Yeah.
All right. You do have a point of inspiration if you want to use that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I will. Oh, 20.
Nat 20?
No, 18 plus 2, 20.
Okay, great. Awesome. You start to feel very sick after that bite. Nauseatingly sick, debilitatingly sick, and then you muscle through it with all of your will and force that feeling away to the point that, yes, you are feeling fine. I need you to make a strength DC for me now. Go ahead. Strength save.
Oh, 9.
Your dice don't like you tonight, do they?
Bones hates me.
All right, this is going to be 13 bludgeoning damage. After having bit you, it slams you up against the ground, and you are stunned. Stun is you automatically fail strength and dex saving throws now, and attack rolls against you have advantage. You can't move, and you can speak only falteringly.
Alrighty.
And so we are up to Bear. You just watch this thing come around the corner, slap him, grab him, bite him, and slam him against the ground. What are you gonna do?
Bear takes, just in full-fledged rage, uses his bonus, uses a action, turn into a bear,
Okay.
and he's going to rage.
All right. Bear, rage, and then you're going. Are you gonna do anything with your move?
Yeah, I'm heading at him full gun ho.
Okay. Sweet action. You come running up to it. And Ryan, you're up.
So now that I've seen this thing for myself, does it have eyes?
Make a perception roll.
Yeah. So we're looking at a 7.
From what you can tell, this body makeup that you're seeing in front of you is very, very foreign, and you're not able to make out of the one tentacle that has attacked, the other two, with all the flailing around, you're not able to get a good enough glimpse to tell.
Cool. Then I am going to, let's see, so out of the gem of brightness at the end of my staff, 6 little individual sparkles kind of pop out, and what they do is they begin to circle me. And as they're circling, I'm going to throw 2 of them using Melf's minute meteors at this being in front of me, and it needs to make a Dex save, DC 16.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay, so we talked about this last time. 1 stone does 2d6, so 2 stones do 46.
I think so.
Okay.
This round, yes. I'll take a look at it while you're doing it.
Okay, it's elemental evil.
Okay.
So it's going to take, bummer, not as good as my magic missile. It does 9, I don't want to lie to you here. No, 8 fire damage.
8 fire?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cool. And he takes that fire damage, and you're watching a part of his skin start to burn and bubble as he is burning.
Cool. And I'm going to use my movement to try and begin. So the cavity that this thing is down, I want to move past the cavity and then try and get on the other side.
Just looking at it, you can see that if you there is no way for you to safely do that. If you're doing it, you're putting your life in your own hands, because
Okay.
it is honestly taking up most of this area. So meta-wise for you, if you travel beside it, you'll be entering its threat range, and as you go past it, if you want to go past it, you'll have to leave its threat range.
Okay, cool. Then I will not do that.
Okay.
So I'll just move so that I'm kind of at the end of the hallway, pointing down so that as much light is on this thing as possible.
Okay, got it. Garn, you are stunned. Part of stun is incapacitated, so it means you can't do anything on your turn, okay?
Yep.
After this turn, though, you are no longer stunned.
Oh, okay.
So when we get back to your next turn, you have all of your action.
Okay.
Sir Edinburgh, you just watched the arm of this thing come around, and you're just seeing the front side of it, the arms and two other, or the mouth and the two other flailing tentacles.
Alright. So it doesn't have a hold of Garn anymore?
It does have a hold of Garn.
Okay. How close is it to me?
15 to you, 25 feet.
Oh, hell. Alright. Well, and I'm
And
half movement right now?
we'll say that since Garn is currently stunned and incapacitated, he is kind of being flung around in that little area. So if you wanted to move along the side wall, it would not cost you acrobatics to go through the place where quotation fingers Garn is standing.
It cut out for a minute. Did you say I have to roll it acrobatics?
Would not have to roll acrobatics to go
Okay.
through the space that quotation fingers Garn is standing.
Okay. I'm going to get to where Garn is standing and try and hack away at the tentacle holding him.
Where Garn is standing is 10 feet away from the creature.
Oh. But the tentacle has a hold of him?
The tentacle does have a hold of him.
So can I cut the tentacle?
You can sure try.
Okay.
I'm on board with it.
Alright. That's a 2 for that one. And that, it was higher than a 2, but a 10 isn't going to hit. But that's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yes, a 23 is certainly going to hit it.
Alright. My attack die. And 10 damage on that. And that's with my +1 weapon.
All right.
So, in case it needs magic.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. It is the Otuk's turn. It begins to flail around crazily, and it is going to attempt to slam our friend Garn again. Wow, I rolled 2 8s. That's not going to hit him either way. Congratulations, Garn. He sucked at hitting you while he had advantage. He is going to attempt to, this giant bear thing that came up, he's going to attempt to grapple it with his tentacle. What's your AC in bear form, Bear? Bear. You're muted. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
All right, then I'm thinking it's gonna hit him because that's a total of 20. So Bear is going to take. Bear is going to take 10 bludgeoning damage and 7 piercing damage, and is grappled and restrained until he escapes. He's raging, so that'll only be half.
Yeah, I'm here. Freaking internet's being funny.
Hey, that's all right, man. That's all right. Here, since rage is your thing, when I tell you the damage you take, I'm just going to tell you what it is full, and you be in charge of halving that. Okay?
Okie dokie.
Cool. So that's 10 bludgeoning or 10 piercing. No, that's right. 10 bludgeoning and 7 piercing, and you are grappled and restrained until you escape. Next up is Bear.
All right. I think I have the advantage on strength checks. Hold on. While raging, I believe. That's the one thing I need to write down on my sheet. Is the advantage of being enraged. So I can't do anything until I get it. I can't do anything until I get out of rage.
You can attack. You'll just have disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to attempt to escape as your move action, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, well, I'm going to attempt to break it because I have the advantage on strength checks.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I have the advantage. Whoa. All right. One will be an 18, which that's the advantage. 18's the highest.
Got it. You muscle your way out of this creature's grasp, and you fall back to the ground, all paws easily, and you can have you can have the rest of your action.
All right. I'm gonna go claws and paws on him. All right. Plus 7 to. Okay, 26, and one's a 15.
Both will hit.
Nice. All right. Let's see. D8. And 23 points of. Oh wait. 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage.
That's both bite and claw. Total.
Beautiful, beautiful. Uh, it reels from the attacks, super duper pissed off that you are hurting it so much. Ryan.
Yeah, so Ryan sits there, and first thing he does is he kind of holds his staff out, kind of expecting to be able to, once again, fire off some of these shots. But he feels this warmth in his hand, and instead of pointing at this beast, it kind of tunes over towards Garn, and he sits there, and the staff starts to glow, and it actually takes a shot at Garn, and it looks almost exactly like a magic missile, but instead it's these yellow wisps that kind of converge and land on him, and I'm going to use 2 charges of the staff to cast Cure Wounds as a 2nd level spell. Let's see. Sadly, I don't have a wisdom modifier for you here, Darn. Ooh, but it's maxed out, so you got 16 hit points back. And as my bonus action, I'm going to fire off 2 more of those meteors. Did you make a call on whether that's 4 or 2?
I'll say that you'll be able to, even if you wanted to do it in 2 different locations, you could easily put them in a place that would make this creature be inside the blast radius of both of them.
Okay, cool. I'm talking about the amount of d6s here.
Yeah, he would take it from each of them.
Okay, cool.
Oh, one just went in the trash.
Reroll that one in a minute. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. This is a bonus action. Okay, so 1 plus 2 is 3, 7. So 9 fire that time.
9 fire. Awesome. You guys are kicking its butt. Good job, guys. Keep at it. Keep at it. I believe in you. Guard, you are not stunned. Would you like to try to escape after having begun to feel the power of air?
Yes.
Plain and simple. Yes.
Yes, I would. I'm getting my.
You can make a strength check, or you can make an acrobatics check.
Oh. I believe I'll probably do better with strength. I don't think I have.
Excuse me. An athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh, well, I have athletics. Okay. Well, I'm about the same on both of them, so I'm going to use my super duper dice. I'm tired of bones. You failed me. You said I have disadvantage on
Dex checks.
Yeah. Okay. So I have disadvantage.
Not on athletics. Athletics is strength based.
Right. But what I'm saying is, you said I have disadvantage on trying to escape from him.
No, you have disadvantage on Dex checks.
Oh, well, I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Well, either way, then you kick that sucker square in the face, and you do a beautiful backflip and land on your feet, picking up your axe out of the sludge, and you're ready for your action. Go for it.
Oh, good. I can attack him twice.
Do it real quick. Go ahead. My bad. Go for it, man.
No, what? What do I need to do?
Nope, you don't have to do anything. Go for it.
Okay, well, I mean,
Oh, you're good, dude. It's my fault. Keep going.
okay. Alright, plus 6. 15?
Yep.
Okay. And 20, but that's not natural.
All right.
Okay. I got a D12, a D6, and a D8. Uh, 6 plus 3 plus 3, 12 plus 3. 15 points of damage.
Is that with your hunter's mark?
Yes.
15 points of damage.
Yes, I have Colossal Slayer, and I have Hunter's Mark on him.
All right.
I
And
crapped out.
don't you get 2 attacks?
Yes. Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, 15.
Glad you're terrible.
No, I'm not. Okay, 15 more.
15 more damage or 15 to attack again?
Yeah. 15 more damage. I forgot. I was sitting here. I forgot about. I rolled a 20 and a 15 on my attacks, and I forgot I zoned out with my
okay.
damage.
Another 15 damage, you said?
Yeah.
Let me turn that volume off. There we go. Sweet. Well, this thing is hurting. It is bleeding. There is blood pouring down the sides of its leathery skin and over its mouth. It is very, very unhappy. Sir Edinburgh.
Alright, so I'm going to move towards it since I'm assuming its tentacle went back closer to its body. And I'm going to continue actually attempting to hack away at that tentacle and just chop it off.
Okay.
So I got a 16 and a 22.
Both will hit.
Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and use my action surge for a couple extra shots. 25. And, man, that was so close. 26.
Yep, all of them will hit.
So, just hacking away. So 11, a 10, a 9, and a 12.
42 total?
Hopefully.
Yeah, you are able to easily cut a tentacle off. In fact, you are, in your hacking and slashing, go ahead and tell me how you cut this thing off.
Okay, he's just hacking at it because he saw what this thing did with it. He just hacks once, hacks twice, just brings his sword back, slashing from underneath. A third shot, and then that fourth shot just slices right through the tentacle, finally just lopping it off.
Beautiful, and you're able to lock that tentacle off very, very close to where it connects to the body, and blood is now pouring and spilling out of it. You watch its legs buckle under it as it lets out a mighty roar. And it's its turn. Let's see. It will go after you with its one good tentacle. All right, and this one's going to hit. And you will take... Let me get those D8s out. Oh, got it. Oh, yeah. Check that out. That's incredible. That's a whole 4 bludgeoning and 4 piercing. You are grappled and restrained. And I need a strength save from you.
All right. I'm going to use my advantage for inspiration.
Okay.
That one's a 16.
Got it. You're able to You are able to make the save, so you will take a whole whopping 3 damage, and you are not stunned as it slams you up against the ceiling and the ground.
All right.
It then draws you in and tries to bite at you. And I roll a 2. So, no!
Gets a good chunk of some chainmail.
Bear. This thing looks terrible. You just watch the pompous man run by you, hacking off chunks of it of the tentacle until finally cutting the tentacle off at the base. And now it has a hold of him with the other tentacle.
Bear, still enraged, will go full claws and paws on it.
Okay.
7. 14. Ugh.
A 7 and a 14, is that what you said?
No, 14 was one and 25 is the other.
Both will hit.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. The D8. 14, then 26 damage.
Tell me how
Total.
you kill this thing.
All right. Well, seeing that this thing was more occupied with Sir Edgar, I'll call him Edgar.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. See, he was considering he was too busy dealing with who Bear has labeled the guy. When it turns back around, it gets a bear. It literally, like, you ever seen that one episode of Family Guy where Peter opens the thing and all of a sudden there's a raccoon in his face? Well, that's pretty much what happens to it. It turns back around and all of a sudden there's a bear in its face.
Awesome.
Just biting his face off.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. And this thing falls. All the tentacles stop moving, giving one last weak. Ah! And as it dies, you hear that growl, that shout, that animalistic scream just echoing down the sewer.
So there was another one that was echoing?
No, you hear that last death growl that it made echoing down the sewer and fading away.
Edinburgh's a little shaken up after he got grabbed and slammed, nearly bitten. He's covered in blood, and he's looking. When did we get a bear?
Ryan just smiles and he says, well, so much for beggars then, huh?
A bear can certainly be a beggar, I suppose. You ever been to a circus? Do they have circuses where you're from?
I've only met one person from a circus. He didn't mention any bears. But like I told you, we're less beggars and more adventurous. And perhaps today we're at least men with a little bit more gold in our pockets.
Yes, that's good.
As you stand here in front of the corpse of this Otyuk, you'll be able to get a better look at it, and you see that on 2 of its tentacles, closer down to its mouth, the pads at the end are covered in spines and spikes. And then there's one that is above the mouth, that where the pad is, there are 3 eyes. 3 very animalistic eyes that are inset in the pads, and there are no spines or spikes.
Edinburgh's gonna start hacking this thing off.
I will claim one of the largest of its spikes or even a tooth as a trophy.
You will easily be able to find large teeth and spikes to remove from this creature.
Okay.
Well, with that, bear slowly, the large bear hops off the ochu, whatever, called the ochu, whatever, and slowly turned back into the orc, uh, with the bear mantle resting on his head, and says, "Oh," and he just smiles all, it's like, "Oh, worthy foe."
You look much better as a bear.
And gives him a grin. He goes, "How do you think I met my fourth wife?"
And on that statement, let's go ahead and take one more 5 minute bio break. And yeah, we'll find our way out of the sewers when we come back. Great kill, guys. That was cool.
Yep.
All right, all right, all right, all right. See, I see Jeremy,
Yeah.
and there's Bear,
And I'm here.
there's Garn. Ah, there we go. And there's Ryan. Good deal. So you guys are hacking off the parts of this O tube that you want. What are you doing with the majority of the body?
Bear kind of grins. He says, "We should actually bring this up so we can show it to the rest of the people. Kind of give us a little infamy, give us a little fame in this city."
That's why I'm
How
taking the top tentacle.
uh, are
It's
you?
pretty large.
Uh, there's not enough of us here to pull it
I
unless
don't
you
know if I would fit through that manhole.
want to charge to bring people down into a sewer to see a dead Eotha goo thing. I have my trophy. It seems he claimed Sir Edinburgh, I believe, claimed his trophy. So I say we tell whoever is in charge of it. They have a monster to take a dead animal to take care of down here.
Does it look like it's backing up the sewage, Jim? Jimmy boy.
Yes.
It does look like it's backing it up.
That a bit. As you've been hacking away at it, it's not backing it up so much as stopping it, but the water level behind it is having to rise to be able to accommodate going around the body more rather than the natural flow.
Bear
This is
says
disgusting.
it might also, if they have drinking water through this direction, this might contaminate their drinking supply as well.
I believe this runs straight out to the ocean, if I'm uh, not incorrect. Sir Edinburgh, you might know better than we do. Do you think that's where this leads?
Let's see. What would I know?
You know that in an effort to keep this city very, very cosmopolitan, that these sewers actually sit below below sea level, and that there is a special barrier at the end of uh, the sewers where it reaches to the ocean that actually allows the water to only flow toward the ocean rather than into the sewers.
Hmm. Yeah. You have rope? We can drag this thing out to the ocean?
We could just hack this thing up into smaller pieces so that it goes out on its own accord. It looks like you've already done a pretty good job, or we've all done a pretty good job of hacking off some tentacles.
Yes. Yes. Well, we can cut it into tiny pieces.
Is anyone opposed to that?
No,
Oh, no, like I said, I don't. I got rope if we want to try to pull it, but I don't. If it's 15, it's got to be a pretty heavy. I don't know if all of us together could could pull it, so let's hack it up.
Bear says, or um, we could just alert the city guard, and they could send their people down here, because if it's just left here, it's pretty much city problem.
Well, we did kill it. It would only be it would only be it would only be proper that we remove what we've killed,
Bear
and I
kind of
thought
just
hacking it up.
Bear grins. He says, "Well, if we're gonna, well, okay, if we're hacking it up, oh yeah, Bear." Bear goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, fine, fine, fine."
All right. So you guys, is it just the two of you hacking it up, or are you helping out too, Sir Edinburgh?
Edinburgh will help.
Ryan, are you able to do anything to help out?
I mean, he would take out that wasp stinger dagger and start kind of making incisions.
The wasp stinger dagger isn't really going to be able to do much slicing.
Cool. Then, no, Ryan would just hold the light so that everyone can see.
Got it. So with as large as this creature is, hacking it into smaller bits, it's not like hacking a tree into logs. It's more like hacking a 10-foot part of a redwood into smaller trees. So you guys will be, after about working on it for 45 minutes, you feel like you've got a lot of it chopped up. You've been able to work mostly on the sides so it's able to flow easier, but there is still a large portion of it in the very middle of the sewers.
Ryan would, kind of feeling like he's not doing a whole lot, would urge the group that perhaps this is enough. Simply say, well, yeah, if the sewer has the ability to flow around it, and we've got it so that perhaps the sewer itself will push and pull any of these remaining pieces, I think we've probably done our fair lot as far as this is concerned.
Bear kind of chuckles. He says, we're spending like 45 minutes. Bear goes, he looks at the rest of us. He goes, "We did the guild a favor by killing this thing. How about we have like some of the I guess trainees come down here and finish it off. Have them dispose of it and somehow. I mean, we did clean out the sewer or clean their passage through."
I beg your pardon, but which guild do you be speaking of?
Oh no, no, no. I kind of look at Ryan. Don't let
Ryan
me
kind
hang.
of smiles and he says, I don't know if it's necessarily a guild, but the man that runs the king's table, his name is Soul. He's the one who asked us to do this for him. And to be honest, I'm not even sure that he cares what happens with the body as long as we've got the problem taken care of.
The man who owns the king's table?
Yeah, the bar we met you at.
Yes. Why would this be his problem?
To be honest, I usually just let my hand reach out and collect the gold. I don't ask too many questions. Perhaps the stench was scaring away some of his clients.
Perhaps. But if it's this problem, I'm certain he'll be more than happy to clear away the rest of this.
I think you're probably right, Sir Laurel Edgar Chausses, mon Edinburgh. Perhaps we go topside now and collect what we deserve.
Indeed.
All right. So you guys, having gone through the sewers for your first time, you're having you find yourself in a bit of trouble. You don't quite remember the directions you went, and every turn that you make, you keep looking for another one of those something that reminds you of the manhole of how to get up and out. And you travel for a good 20 minutes, and you don't feel as though, or you don't find anything that you're looking for. You get to a point and you stop, and as you stop to discuss what the next best option is, beside you in the wall, a door appears. And this is not just some 7 foot tall door. This is a grand arched door, intricately decorated with stones, carvings, uh, murals of winged people at the top, and horned people at the bottom. The doors, the giant arched double doors, uh, appear there. No sound, no bright flash of light. The door appears there.
I will actually, Garn will use his axe and push against the door to make sure that it's not like an illusion.
Uh, your door pushes against the door. The door does not move.
Well, that's a good thing, because, I would hate to have my door open another door.
Edinburgh has his trophy tentacle draped over his shoulder. Huh, that's peculiar. Pull on the door.
Bear seeing everybody treating the door, he goes, "Y'all act like a bunch of newborn pups, sniffing a meal for the first time." He reaches down and grabs the handle of the door, and he will attempt to open. Push or pull. Push or pull.
My door just pops up. I check to make sure it's real.
The door is real, and when you pull on it, it opens easily. Uh, as you open the door, around you, creatures that seem to be made of the same sludge and crap and just waste that is in the sewer pop up out of it, seeming just as surprised to see you as you to see them. And then their expressions become aggressive. Roll initiative.
Well, didn't say just opening doors was a good thing. Not so lucky with the initiative this time.
How long would you say we've been walking, Jim?
About 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right, looking at what we got. Caleb, Jeremy, which one's got the higher dex?
I have a +3 bonus.
I also have a +3 bonus.
Which one of you wants to go first?
He can go first.
All right. Then
And do you want to give us one more real quick description of what these things look like?
these things that have just stood up out of the sludge come up to only about knee height to you. They have long noses, very sharp pointed features. Their arms come out of the water, and you can see that their arms are well, you would call them bony, but with all the crap all over them, you can't really see necessarily bone. The fingers are very long and pointed, just like the nose. Um, they're very gosh, they don't seem to have wings on them. They just seem to be dripping all of the muck and gunk and just excrement that is floating around in these sewers. Garn, you go first.
Okay, I will. How far away am I?
Garn, you have four of them right beside you.
Oh, good. Well then, I use my bonus action to put Hunter's Mark on one of them.
Okay.
The one in front of me, and I'm going to swing with my axe. 15.
That hits.
Okay. And 23.
That hits as well.
Okay. Uh, 3 points of damage, and since he take.
Wait. There's no way that you only did 3 points of damage.
No, wait. Okay. Well, I rolled a 1 on the D12.
Okay.
A 2 on the D6. And my strength. I did 6 points of damage.
All right, and then your second attack that hit also gets the Colossus Slayer.
Yeah, that kicks in. Okay, I'm at 15, 21, 24 points of damage.
24 points of damage.
I maxed out my 12.
All right. Got it. How close are you all together? Pretty close, huh?
Well, I'm pretty close to Bear. I guess about 5 feet. I don't know how far they were. So I'm close.
Let's say that you're all pretty close to within 5 feet of each other, and these little things have popped up all around you and between you. I need you all to make a dex save.
Nice. 19?
19?
Yeah.
All right.
17 for me.
Got it. 18 for Caleb.
I rolled a 19.
All right. You are all, as this thing explodes and lands all over you, you feel as though the sticky muckiness is trying to hold you in, but you're able to dodge most of the crap that flies towards you as one of them explodes and dies.
Do you
Do you wish
need
to
me?
move?
Yes. Oh. Well, move maybe to get out of not where I'm surrounded by them, but still where I can hit them. And do you need me to roll concentration for my hunter's mark?
No, you have not taken damage.
Okay.
No, but if you do wish to move, no matter which direction you move, you're going to be getting you're going to get one opportunity attack against you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just going to stay where I'm at.
All right. Sir Edinburgh, you have 4 around you. Are these
Not
little
one
poo
for
ankle biters?
not much for parley, are we? He throws the Ochu tentacle off him and just swings his sword at the nearest one. Ah, that's gonna suck. 13 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, okay. Nice. And 7 damage. So,
All right. You have 2 attacks, don't you?
oh, right. 13 again.
You hit.
And 7 damage again. I just kept rolling the same thing.
Ryan, you're up.
How many did you say there were?
There's 12 of them total in this cramped-in area. With you are guaranteed to have 3 around you.
So let's say I wanted to affoom. How many of these guys would I get?
It is a... Oh, almost lost my earpiece.
It's a 30-foot cone.
A 30-foot cone. From where you're standing, you can get 6 of them.
Okay.
But the trick is that you're also going to be guaranteed to also have one of your party members in that blast.
Okay. Let's see. Let me look real quick at something that's not meta. So I'm going to turn to the direction that bear is as my cat's bite.
Okay.
And I'm going to just yell out, close your eyes. And I'm going to hold it up and yell, affoom! Attempting to blind as many of these as I can. DC 15 con save.
All right. It's 4 d20s, 5 d20s, 6 d20s. DC 15 con. Let me check and see what their save is, because only one of them rolled higher than a 15. Only one of them makes the save.
All right. The other 5 then are blinded for a minute.
And
Ooh.
All right, Bear. The 3 that are in front of you are blinded, and let's see who was. And Sir Edinburgh. 2 of them that are in front of you are also blinded. Bear, it's your turn.
Okay. Bear guessing around. If I move away, is there like a way? Because the way I'm picturing this, if we're all like in checkerboard like stance in the party, like Garn here, space here, me here, space there.
You're not in a checkerboard. You are very cramped in together right now.
So the 2 that's in front of me, or the ones that are blinded by me, trying not to get anybody in this. Is there a way I can move and get as much of them and less of my party in a 15-foot cube? I'm trying to set this down to where it will not harm my party.
If you move, you will be guaranteed that you will draw an attack of opportunity. But that 15.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm good with the attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Even though they're blinded, they're gonna be able to take that.
No, they wouldn't. You're right. No, you wouldn't draw that attack of opportunity. Thank you, Caleb. When you step, for you to do that, I assume you're doing, what is it, Thunder Wave?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a blast, so it's in one direction. It doesn't go out in every direction from you.
Well, I want to get as many of them as possible, but as less of us as possible.
Okay, if you step back in closer into the rest of the group, the 3 that are on you, you'll be able to hit all 3 of them.
All right. Well, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
It is a Constitution save, DC, I believe 15. 1 second. Constitution saving throw. I believe. Why is the DC not there? I usually have my DCs here. I have to bring up the sheet for that. If I'm not mistaken, I think the DC is 15.
Okay. If the DC is 15, only one of them makes it.
Yes, the DC is 15.
Only one of
Yes.
them makes it.
All right. So I think he'll take half damage from Thunder Wave. He'll take 3d8. I will be extinguishing a 3rd level slot for this. Or a 2nd level slot, not 3rd. 16 points of damage.
All right.
And if they failed their save, all that failed their save is pushed back 10 feet.
All right.
Oh, the ones that succeeded the saving throw are not. They take the damage, but the ones that succeed the saving throw don't get pushed back.
It says takes as half as much damage.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Yes,
All right.
yes, okay, there we go.
All right, so that you've got 2 that have been pushed 10 feet away from you. Those were the 2 that were closest to you. The one that was already 10 feet away from you, it is the one that took half damage. So the one that took half damage is 10 feet away from you, and the 2 that took max damage are 15 feet away from you.
Okay.
And coming up to them. Let me spread these cards out real quick. Garn, there are 2 attacks against you as they both swing at you. They are both going to blow, let's see. First one blows mud in your direction, and I need you to make a dex save for me. The second one makes an attack. It will hit. What's your dex save? Garn?
Okay, 12.
12? All
Yeah.
right. You barely make it, and the mud does not restrain, or the mud does not restrain you as it comes flying out of one of them. The other one going to attack you does hit, and you take a whole big time. Look out, it's going to be so amazing as it reaches at you. 7 points of bludgeoning, muddening damage. There are 3 on Sir Edinburgh. 2 of them are blinded. Blinded attack number 1. Yeah, it's a 4. Blinded attack number 2. Yeah, that's a 10. Unblinded attack. Here it comes. Big money. Crit. You are going to take 12 bludgeoning damage from this huge attack. As it nails you, and right as it seems like when it goes to hit you, it becomes tiny, tiny little tendrils that goes through each link of your chain to nail you. Ryan, there are 3 on you. 3 attacks on you. I need you to make a dex save for me.
Got a 15.
You make it fine. The other 2 attack you. One's gonna hit, and one is gonna crit. The one that hits is a whole whopping 2 bludgeoning damage. The one that crits on you is a whole whopping 11 bludgeoning damage. And the 3 that are on bear, let's see if they can even move up to you. All 3 of them start wandering in different directions, and you, in fact, watch one punch another one of his buddies, and that actually crits against his buddy. So you watch him do a great mud sling, and he feels very, very confident about that mud hit. In fact, let me check that. No. 6, 12, 6, 7. Yes, you watch that one explode, and as it explodes, the mud falls over the other two friends. Bear, the one that hit one of his buddies, was one of them that took full damage from the last one.
Nice.
Garn, we're up to you.
Okay. Did the one that I hit, did I drop him?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to switch my hunter's mark to the nearest one next to me.
You got one right beside you.
Okay. And I'm going to 14 plus 6, 20.
Yep.
17.
Yep. Both of them hit.
Okay. Has he been hit?
Has not been hit.
Okay. Then 9 points of damage on that hit.
All right.
And 10, 3, 15 on that one.
All right. You feel really good about that hit, but it did not connect as well as the hit on the previous one.
Okay.
Sir Edinburgh, you've still got 3 on you. One of them that you have hit, 2 of them are blinded. The one that you hit is not one that is blinded.
All right. Oh, the one I hit was not the one that's blinded?
Correct.
Yeah, that one hit me, so I hate it a lot. That's a 20 to hit, not
hit.
Natural. And so that's going to do 13 damage.
And that one explodes. Make a dex save for me.
16.
You are fine with the mud and the gunk flying all over you. You can make your second attack against one of the other 2 blinded ones that are adjacent to you, and you have advantage against it since it's blinded.
All right. Well, that one's a crit.
Awesome.
What are your rules?
Max the first one, roll the next one, and add it to it. Then add your bonuses.
All right. My other one was a 1.
So,
9. So 16.
Good hit. Good hit.
That nice little improved critical.
Ryan, you're up.
So am I still dealing with 3 of these dudes right next to me?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else has people exploding around them?
Yep.
So what does it... out of curiosity, while sitting here kind of after flashing that light, I would look over my shoulder and see what Garn's situation is.
Garn's situation is one is exploded, a second one it looks absolutely terrible, and one looks untouched.
So knowing that Garn is, I guess, recalling back to the Goblin Caves of how he was able to after something's taken damage, he was able to kind of take advantage of that. I'm just going to put the staff up in the air, and I'm going to 3rd level magic missile, and I'm just going to start spraying a bunch of these dudes.
Okay. Are you trying to actually drop any, or are you just trying to make it so that they've all taken damage?
Well, yeah, I'm just for the 5 closest to Garn, I would just try and, just put some damage on 5 different ones.
All right, there. Garn has 2 that are on him directly, so you can hit 2 of them. And then the next 2 people who are closest to Garn are actually Sir Edinburgh and Ryan and yourself. So there's 3 on you, 2 on Sir Edinburgh, and 2 on Garn.
So I'm going to assume I would have seen Garn take a hack at one of them, so I'm not going to aim for that one.
Okay.
So if that means 4 or 3 around Edinburgh, 1 on Garn, and 1 on me.
There's only 2 around Edinburgh, and one of them looks fine.
Okay. Well, then I'll let you divvy up these 5 to people who I think are in good shape.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right. So I've done 4, 4, 5, 5, and 3.
All right. Gotcha. By doing it that way, you have made it so that everybody that is now out there has taken damage.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that is. I don't think there's anything else I can do to save myself here. Nope. Okay, I'm good.
All right.
I'll sit there and kind of poke my light at him, tell him to give back.
Bear, you're up.
All right. The ones that was on me, one's dead, right?
Yes, one is
Or
dead. The other 2 are about 15 feet away from you. The third one that just died, having been punched by one of its friends and exploded.
That's funny. Okay. All right. So, if I was to put myself between Sir Edinburgh, the Knight, and Garn, how many of them would be surrounding me?
Surrounding you at that point, you would only have reach to 2 of them. You would not be surrounded.
All right. Well, I'm going to the 2 that's in front of me. The 2 that's just wandering around blinded. How badly injured do they look?
One looks bloodied and the other one looks fine.
All right. Well, as a bonus action, I'm going to Magic Stone.
Okay.
3 stones, and I'm going to peg one with a rock.
Do it.
I'm going to peg. Can I throw 2 rocks, like one in each hand, like just like?
No, like if it was just the rocks, yes, and you were throwing them, but it says it's a ranged spell attack.
Okay, that's cool.
If you were just throwing rocks, yes, you could.
All right, 16.
Yes, a 16 hits.
All right. Woohoo! 10 damage.
All right, and where are you, Bear? Got it. And that's one of the people that's on you, right?
Yes, that was one of the ones that was wandering around aimlessly.
Got it. You watched that one explode onto his buddy, and he's not close enough to hit you or any of your friends.
Good.
And it's their turn. Garn, there's 2 attacks on you. All right. Garn, is your AC still a 15?
Yes.
All right, then 1 will hit you, and you will take a whole whopping 7 bludgeoning damage. There's 2 on Sir Edinburgh, and they're both blinded. Blinded attack number 1.
Am I close enough to strike one of them that is hitting Sir Edinburgh?
Yes, you are.
I want to use my Sentinel ability to smack him.
Okay.
Has he been damaged? Or you know what? Let's not worry about it. If he's 20 to hit, has he been damaged? Okay.
Yep.
15 points of damage to him.
All right, he explodes. I need you and Sir Edinburgh to make dex saves.
I got a 16.
12.
You both are dancing around it so closely. That's not cool. But you guys are able to shrug off the crap that's coming towards you. Sir Edinburgh, there's 1 left on you, and it has, let's see, Man, the best I got was a 16. Wait, I actually have a 19. Is that going to hit your AC right now?
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right. And that's with the disadvantage from being blinded. He had a stroke of insight mentally and somehow was able to land a hit on you. Probably while you're doing that amazing dodge against the exploding poo. And it was that's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage against you. Ryan, there's still 3 on you, so here comes 3 attacks. You get a 13. All 3 of them are going to hit you. 2 bludgeoning. 6 bludgeoning. 2 bludgeoning. I'm doing so great on this roll thing right now. And on Bear, he is out there walking around. Let's see if he actually... No, the other one out there is still is still feeling around for something to punch and keeps going further and further away from the group, lost, thanks to being blinded. Garn, it is your turn. There are 2 within reach of you.
Okay. 14.
That'll hit it.
Okay. Are you able to split your attack up on 2 targets?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to roll. Okay. I was going. All right. Then I'm going to. Okay. 11, 12, 13, 14 damage to the one.
All right, and it explodes. Make a dex save for me.
Okay. I've got a 22.
You're fine.
Okay, and I'm going to switch my hunter's mark over onto him, over onto the other one.
Okay.
And use my other attack. 21.
Yeah, you hit.
13. 16, 16, 19 damage.
19 damage. It is still standing. Not healthy, just standing. Sir Edinburgh, you've got 1 on you, and it is still blind.
Alright.
Advantage against this one.
Oh, advantage. Nice. So we can do 20 on here. Alright. It's going to be a 22 to hit.
You'll hit it.
Alright. Then that's 15 damage.
Awesome, and it is still up.
Alright. Second attack is going to be a 23 to hit.
It'll hit.
And that's going to be 11 damage.
It explodes. Make a dex save.
I'm going to try that guy. 10.
All right. As it explodes and hits you, finally, you succumb to all of the amounts of poo and grime flying all around you, and you are restrained until the end of your next turn.
Alright. Does that mean I cannot take a bonus action?
Check real quick about restrain. I know there's only certain things you can do while restrained. Let's see.
I can't benefit for bonuses to speed.
And you have disadvantage on dex saving throws. Rolls against you have. I'll let you use a bonus action.
Alright. Yeah, so Sir Edinburgh's just been taking a little bit of a beating from these things, in addition to what he took from the Otyugh, and he's just kind of drawing in some inner strength for a second wind, and that's going to be very good. I rolled a 9.
Good.
So,
all right.
14 points back.
There are only 4 of them left. One of them is one of them is slowly walking away from the group in Bear's direction, away from Bear, and the other 3 are all adjacent to Ryan. Ryan, you are up.
So he would have seen Edinburgh Edinburgh be in better health, but he tries to recall back to the fight with the Etug, whatever that thing was, and he's basically kind of in his mind cataloging how everyone's doing. So he knows he's healed Garn once, but he's not. Basically, this fight, after he blinded everybody, he hasn't been keeping track of everybody. So just a quick scan around the room. How's everyone doing?
I'll tell you what I use. Guys, whenever I tell you it's bloodied, that means it's at less than half of its hit points. If I tell you it's like it's on a knee, that it's under a quarter.
Okay. I am still. Garn is still looking pretty good. He's bruised and got some scrapes, but he's pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Bear's flinging rocks. He looks on. I think he's been damaged a little, but he's not at half life. I mean, so.
Okay.
Cool. Edinburgh, you're in good shape?
He's in good shape. He's covered in blood and shit, but he's doing all right.
Cool. So I am going to. None of these guys around me got blinded, huh?
Nope.
Bummer. So yeah, I'm going to take the staff, which had been held up in the air, and now I'm going to spike it back down into the sludge, and that same yellow warmth that shot out and healed Garn earlier will sprout out and kind of blossom and cascade over the top of me, and I'm going to use a 3rd level slot to heal myself with Cure Wounds. That'll be 10, 14, plus 5, 19. All right.
All right. Anything else?
That is all I can do.
All right, Bear. There are 3 that are adjacent to Ryan and 1 that is lost, moving away from you.
Oh, Bear not being able to resist chunking rock at a wondering thing. He looks over to the one surrounding Ryan and goes, I can help him. 19.
That'll hit.
He'll take a whole whopping 5 damage.
All right. Anything else, Bear?
Unless I could throw another rock, I guess.
Nope.
I guess I will. Actually, I'll move closer to Ryan so that way, because looking at Ryan, is he badly hurt?
He feels a lot better now. All of a sudden, once that light cascaded over the top of him, he went from looking like he was in rough shape to he's pretty chipper now.
Right, Bear and Garn, this light that you're seeing come over him is not something. Like you're familiar with this guy's basic ability. You know he kind of is working some kind of deal with magic, but this is not something that you've ever seen him do before.
Bear, when he tries to use that healing ability, would I be able to roll any sort of knowledge to know it's a healing, like it's the cure spell?
For him, you can do it as you can roll Arcana, or just roll an intelligence check.
18.
Cool. Yeah, you're able to tell that not necessarily what that light affecting it is, because that light, based off of who's casting it and where the magic comes from, it all changes based off of that. But you're able to, based off of what's happening to him, you're able to tell that whatever he's doing is some sort of healing magic.
All right. Well, seeing that it seems like everybody else handling their stuff, well, Bear's going to move and going to move to Ryan to give him a little assistance.
Okay, are you actually going to go to adjacent to just Ryan, or are you going to go to adjacent to some of the other creatures too?
To the other creatures too, because kind of give everybody a little bit of assistance.
Okay, let's see. One will actually end up attacking you, Bear. So one attack against Bear. That's going to miss. 2 attacks against Ryan. Those are both going to hit. They both swing at you, and you take 6 bludgeoning, followed by 5 bludgeoning. The other one that's currently blinded is stumbling around, still going further and further away. This time it seems even more off track than it has been previously. Garn. All of them, there's one in front of you that's still alive.
Okay, I'm going to switch my hunter's mark over to him.
This one already has its hunter's mark on it. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did I have this one explode last time on you?
I
I'm
know
sorry.
one exploded. And I made it, and one survived.
Okay, then this one does have its hunter's mark on, or your hunter's mark on it.
Okay. So, 12.
Uh-huh.
And 13.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, here, just do your first attack first.
Okay. 14 damage.
It explodes. Make a dex save.
17.
Awesome, you're fine. Now, not only can you separate your attacks between 2 different creatures, but you can actually move between your attacks as well.
Okay, then I would like to move to the closest creature, and if I can actually do another attack, I'm going. Now I can't use but one bonus action, but I'm going to.
You haven't used a bonus action yet.
Okay, then I'm going to switch it to this one that I'm moving to.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing my axe.
Go for it.
16.
That'll hit.
Okay. 11, 12, 15.
15.
Wait a minute. 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15. Yep, 15.
All right. It is still standing. Just barely. Sir Edinburgh.
I am restrained. Is there anything I can do to become unrestrained?
No, because it is a magical effect that ends at the end of this turn.
Okay. There's nothing within like 5 feet of me?
No, because you're back. You were back to back with Ryan.
Okay. Then. Alright. Edinburgh
Okay.
is restrained.
Ryan, you've got 3 on you, and one of them looks really hurt.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a series of dex checks here, so I am going to use. Yes. So instead of that light kind of coming from the neck of the staff, once again, the gem on top starts to glow, and basically this kind of billow of smoke wails out from the top, and I cast sleep on everyone around me. I say everyone, the 3 guys around me, to try and knock those guys out.
Okay. Are you leaving your buddies out of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So total hit points is 10, 11, 13, 17 hit points.
17 total?
Yes.
Okay. The one that is hurt the most immediately falls under the sludge asleep.
Okay.
The other 2 are still up.
Okay. I am going to try and back out of here.
All right. You're going to draw 2 attacks. That one's going to hit, and that one's not.
Could I use my Could I use my sentinel ability against them?
High or low? We'll find out.
Okay.
High or low?
Oh, high.
It's high. Yes, you can.
Okay. And
You can use it against one of them.
20.
That'll hit.
10. 21 damage.
Oh. Whew.
Wait a minute. Was he damaged?
It was damaged.
Okay. Yes, 21. Because
All
if
right.
it wasn't, I had to subtract.
That is so super close. Oh. Yeah, you feel great about that. It's still going to get that hit off though, and that's going to be 6 bludgeoning. The other one misses completely. Bear. There are. Ryan has gone back by you. Ryan, how far do you move?
I would move just, I don't know, let's say I move 15 feet away from where they are.
Okay, that's your full move because moving through the sludge.
Cool. He's
Cool.
definitely trudging his way through that stuff.
Cool.
GTFO.
Yeah. He turns and starts just trudging through as fast as he possibly can, which unfortunately is not super fast, drawing 2 attacks. You watch that as Garn reaches in to give one good whack to one of them. There are 2 of them that one fell under the water that you can't really see right now. There's one that you can see that looks really hurt. It's on its last leg, and there's one that has been hit, but that's as good as you can get.
Could I take a 5-foot step back and get all 3 of them within a blast of my thunder wave?
You can, standing where you are, you can get definitely 2 of them in your blast, but you can't see the other one to know whether you can target it or not.
Well, no, I'm saying for where it went, because when Ryan cast his spell, I'm using like where I last saw him as information.
Right, and based off of the way you last saw him, you think that he'll be in your target zone.
No, okay, I'll do that then.
You need saves?
Constitution, I believe. Constitution. DC 15. And they will take.
All right. Go ahead and tell me how much damage.
I think I got it right. Hold on. Damn it. Okay, yeah, okay. It was 3. They take a 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. All right.
And if they failed, they're knocked 10 feet away.
All right. Tell me, high or low? All right. The one that's underwater that you couldn't see does get hit, and it gets pushed away before it explodes, so you don't have to make a save. The other one is already 10 feet away from you. When it explodes, you don't have to make a save. The one that's still adjacent to you, though, is the second one made it safe, but half the damage still makes it explode and die. This one takes full damage and is still adjacent to you. So on its turn now, it's going to attack you. And it whiffs. I mean, big time. The other one that's still trudging around out there, still just looking around, going the wrong direction. Garn.
Okay. How many is left?
There are 2. There's one that's within 10 feet of you, and one that's 30 feet in the opposite direction.
Okay, I will move to that. The one that's the furthest away. He's the blinded one, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to move to the one that's still able to attack.
Your speed is halved going through the sludge.
Okay, then I move 15 feet.
Okay. If you want to move 15 and then use your action to dash, you can move another 15.
Oh, no, I was moving to the closest one. I was leaving the blinded one alone.
Okay, leaving the blinded one alone. You can get up to this thing and attack it. Go ahead.
Okay. 11?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, 20.
Tell me how. And it explodes. Make a dex save. Bear, you have to make a dex save on this one as well.
I rolled a 1. I got 7. I'm covered in poo.
In my mind, I rolled a 50. But my dice say I rolled a 1. Which plus my dexterity is 3.
Our brothers just totally whiffed this. This is awesome. Both of you are covered in poo, and you are restrained until the end of your next turn.
I look at Guard and go, whose side are you on?
Boom, and you're stuck where you guys are. Sir Edinburgh.
Alright, so I can move now. How close are, like, any of them?
There's only one left, and it's the blinded one that's lost in the other direction. That from where you are is about 25 feet away.
Alright. Edinburgh is just angry, and he's charging as fast as he can go towards it.
All right, move and dash. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Got it. Rhine.
Yeah, so I am going to kind of turn around here, and in frustration, this thing's still wandering around, I'm guessing.
Yep.
I'm just going to turn around, and a little spark next to my eye where once upon a time I had my visor blinks for a moment, and it shoots down my arm and goes into the staff itself, and this red light spirals the staff and then hits the gem and then shoots out, and I cast Firebolt to hit this thing.
Go for it.
It's a 19, so
That'll hit it.
26, 7, something like that.
Yep.
All right. If I'm a 2d10. That is 18 damage.
18.
Yep.
Tell me how it dies. Explosion.
Yeah, so there's fire as it hits it. It hits at a small point, and then from there it spreads out and kind of engulfs this guy. And then that's when he kind of sits there, shakes, and explodes.
After that, for just a minute, the smell, that acrid smell of fecal matter seems to dissipate, and then as the fire goes out, finishing burning up all of its fuel, the smell returns, and you are left standing in front of these giant open double doors inside of a sewer. And that is where we are going to stop, gentlemen. Awesome game, guys. Again, thank you guys for playing. I'm Jim the DM, and we're all from the Tabletop One Shot group. You guys got anything you want to say before we close out?
I'm good. If you haven't joined the One Shot group, you probably should. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
Cool. Well then, if you're not doing anything these next 2 Sundays, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that there's 2 Black Wizards games that you need to go see. We're finally ending a giant saga, and 2 characters that I've absolutely gotten to fall in love with. Billabek, a dwarf that I get to play that's an artificer. He gets to die this Sunday, and Nikhil, a blue-skinned sorcerer, gets to die next Sunday. I'm really, really excited about this. I know Caleb's going to be a part of it, and Black Wizards is actually Jeremy, and that's the game, that's his YouTube channel, and he runs all of those games. So come check it out and watch us die. So
It sounded so awesome.
Oh, it is. It really is. So we will see you guys next time we play. Guys, we'll be back together in 2 weeks. See you later.
See ya.